This is Chicago Hockey Radio with your hosts, Justin Lynch, Charlie Weber, Natalie Chibi, and Andrew Nolan.
Welcome back. Wednesday episode of Chicago Hockey Radio, episode 2 of season 2 of Chicago Hockey Radio. CHR, we are back, baby. Wednesday check-in, Wednesday weigh-in. Happy hump day, baby. It is Wednesday, my dudes. Well, I apologize right off the wrap here first. So we were dealing with some technical difficulties here, a little bit of shaking off the summer rust, if you will. Take 2, but we are back. We are here. It won't happen again. And thank you all for joining us here now. I think we're all ready to fire underway and get the show underway. How are we doing? Charlie and Natalie and Nolan, how's everybody doing?
Pretty good. Saw the Cubs win last night.
Yeah.
Got some good sleep afterwards. Much better than my Monday night.
Yeah, no, that was, we'll have plenty of time, unfortunately, to discuss what transpired on Monday night that I unfortunately bore witness to. How about you, Natalie? How are you doing?
Oh, we have never been more back, baby. Yeah, really excited to be here today. Yeah, I mean, I really have nothing else. I'm just, surviving and thriving the week. It's almost over. So, yeah, I mean, yeah. Nolan, how you doing?
Rough start to the morning, but I think we'll bounce back like we always do. Hump day. We're getting close to Friday, so
There you go.
Hump day.
Hump day.
That's right, baby. Yeah. A lot to delve into today. A lot of Hawks stuff, a lot of NHL news. But before we do that, just a little, gotta get those quick intangibles out of the way, right? Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't already. Hit the thumbs up on the video, helps us out a lot. Share it around. Share it with a friend. Tell a friend, baby. Follow us on all the social medias, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, the whole 9 yards there. And if you're listening to us on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts, be sure to leave a 5-star rating and review. We really appreciate that. It helps us out a ton. All right. Yeah, I think it's time to get into it. I think we should get the negative out of the way just right off the wrap. I know it's not Chicago Monday sports talk segment time, but I think we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about that Bears game on Monday night at least a little bit. Yours truly was there. So was Connor Bedard, and quite a few Blackhawks were there in attendance. And yeah, it looked like a game that the Bears had, and unfortunately got away from them in classic Chicago Bears fashion. Fell for it again award. Every year we think it's going to be different, and it turns out, nope, it's still the same old Chicago Bears. So I imagine y'all watched the game as well. What do we think?
Absolute disaster class.
Yeah.
Absolute disaster class. I mean, I kind of knew from the get-go that they were going to pull something like that. But, I mean, JJ McCarthy, you did good, buddy. You did really good. It was bittersweet. I mean, I'm really happy. Hometown kid, LaGrange Park, very close to me. So, I mean, I kind of expected it, It's just, it was devastating, but bittersweet at the same time.
Yeah, no, it was weird, though, because, the Bears had him totally covered in the first half.
Exactly.
Even the first 3 quarters, that pick 6 happened, I'm we got this covered. And then just in the fourth quarter, out of absolutely nowhere, the entire team forgot how to play football. And McCarthy turned into, prime Aaron Rodgers there and cooked us. So, yeah, not really sure what happened there. But again, as a Bears fan, should we really be surprised? Probably not.
Absolutely not.
Thought it would be different this time. Hopefully Ben Johnson will get his revenge week 2 against the Lions. But, yeah. Definitely not the opening game you wanted, but I will say the atmosphere there was absolute cinema. It was cool to see the Blackhawks boys there as well. And how about Jim Cornelison, the anthem? Absolutely electric.
Cinema.
Absolutely electric.
Cinema.
Yes, sir. And then the Jets overhead. I Show Speed was there as well. I know he's been touring Chicago, so it's pretty cool. How about you, Charlie? What'd you think of the game?
A lot of good at first, and then a lot of bad, obviously.
Yeah.
We kind of forgot both teams get the ball, it seems like, and both teams are playing to win the game.
Yeah.
That Cairo Santos missed field goal kind of switched the direction of the game, I'd say.
Yeah.
And
Tough watch.
yeah, I mean, Bears fans, you got to hope for the best, prepare for the worst every week.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
that's kind of the way it is.
What an introduction for Bedard to, his contemporary, the other number 1 pick in the city. Seeing what it takes to win in Chicago, I think that'll stick with him as he goes through this season. We don't want to be like the Bears or on Monday night. So
Yeah, I mean, at least for us, I mean, at least for the Bears, like they have expectations, we don't. So I think Bedard was watching that game thinking, well, I guess it's all on me then.
Yeah,
I guess this entire city's hopes and dreams are on my shoulders. So, but no, in all seriousness, no, still excited for the rest of this Bears season. It's game one, it's week one. Hope they'll figure it out. How about you, Nolan? What'd you think of the game?
There was a lot more negatives than there were positives. Let's see here. I think they had 140 yards in penalty yards. That's just unacceptable. I mean, I'll give them the excuse. A couple of those calls were bad on the Zebras. But I mean, if you're blaming the Zebras, then you're just looking for excuses. It was bad too, having three of your top defensive players down: T.J. Edwards, Jalen Johnson, and Kyler Gordon. So I mean, to stand there for 3 quarters and only allow 6 points, I mean, especially with a team with the best wide receiver in the NFL, you got to take some positives out of that. But yeah, I don't think Caleb looked his best. He was probably like a 4 out of 10 on that game. The opening drive was great, but again, it was fool's gold because all he was doing was just checking down to DeAndre Swift, and he couldn't even make screen passes to Rowadunze, so that was terrible. I mean, I can honestly go on and on and on about this, but I'm disappointed. I was disappointed when I went to sleep Monday night, and I'm still disappointed Wednesday afternoon at 11:30, and I don't think it's going to get any better this week against Detroit.
Yeah, unfortunately, I would have to agree with you. It kind of feels like a must-win game for both of us. Both had disappointing Week 1 losses, and this early in the season, especially in this brutal NFC North, you really can't afford to throw games away. And that definitely felt like a game that the Bears threw away. It's a game they probably should have won for 75% of the game. They're the better team. And yeah, you just mentioned it, man. Like that opening drive, like I was thinking, man, like this could be the year, and it still can be. But yeah, definitely a lot to clean up there. All right, that's probably it for Bears talk. I think if we have to keep talking about that game, we're all going to lose our minds.
Chicago football radio right now.
Yeah.
Ready to learn Chicago.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we'll just kind of move on from that one and get into Blackhawks talk, which a lot to get into there today. Guess what? Blackhawks players are on the ice right now as we speak. Blackhawks prospects. So we'll get plenty of time to do prospect talk. Obviously, the prospect showcase is this weekend at Fifth Third Arena, Saturday, Sunday. They're playing games against the Wild and the Blues prospects. And I know the Hawks prospects are practicing at noon today at Fifth Third. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. It's just good to see players back on the ice, man. It's been a long summer, a long off season. I think just this little tournament is a reminder that the season is very close upon us, and a lot to look forward to there.
Yeah, I've already seen a few clips on Twitter. The guys playing keep away, opening up practice, and a little picture of Sam Renzel, whose jersey for some reason has 2 L's today on the ice.
What is up with that? How did they mess that up?
Someone in the Blackhawks training room, equipment staff, someone messed up there.
Yeah, that's unacceptable, man. How do you let that happen?
Yeah, to your rookie of the year.
Renzel's not exactly a hard name to spell. I mean, what is it? Rinzel? What's with the 2 L's?
Yeah,
what happened there?
No idea.
Who's responsible for this?
Maybe they're getting excited for Frondell.
2 L's in front. Oh, man, we got like James Stokes over here. He's like investigating this.
Yeah, there we go.
How did you figure that out?
Very suspicious. Maybe
very
he's on
suspicious.
His way.
He's on to something then.
Maybe Frondell's on the way.
I wish, man. Delusion. Delusion.
Yeah, right.
As long as there's delusion, there is hope, right?
Right.
But yeah, very exciting. Just seeing it start up at Fifth Third today. And hopefully these games go good this weekend too.
For sure. It's always fun to see like clips from the players practicing at Fifth Third, just to let you know the hockey season is upon us. And next week is training camp, so we'll see the actual Blackhawks start practicing as well. So that'll be nice to see. And it just shows you that season's really close here, man. We're only, less than a month away to regular season hockey. I think preseason hockey starts September 23rd against the Wings. That's about 2 weeks away. And then training camp next week. So a lot to look forward to here in the Prospect Showcase this weekend. So absolute cinema. So much to get into there.
How about our roster for that too? I mean, you'd stack it up against, the Blues and Wild.
I think our prospect team could go band for band against anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine being a Blues or a Wild forward and you're facing off against Artie Party and Sam Renzel in the decor. Good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck.
And then you got Nick Lardis up front. I think he's probably going to have a pretty big term. And he has a lot to prove, I think, in this training camp. I think he's got a good opportunity to make the Hawks, so he should have a pretty good tournament as well. So a lot of players that should be fun to watch. Ryan Green as well. Definitely a few Blackhawks that can make the team there. Oliver Moore. Talked about it a little bit on Monday, but I think it was worth getting a bit more into today. And we'll have more time to preview that Friday and recap it Monday when the games are complete. Yeah, but I think in terms of news or lack thereof, I think it's worth discussing a little tweet from Pierre LeBrun last night. We got a bit of a Connor Bedard update. Talked about a little bit on the Monday show how Frank Saravalli reported a couple weeks ago after the Frank Nazar extension that both the Hawks and Bedard camp were content on waiting until next year to kind of get into contract discussions. And this report was kind of the same deal. I'll just kind of read the tweet here from Pierre LeBrun, NHL insider. I'm sure you've heard the name. Connor Bedard meeting assembled print media here at NHL Media Player Tour. On contract extension, he says neither side is panicked at all. It hasn't happened yet. Both sides are talking. It'll get done when it gets done. Mutual interest in eventually getting it done. Pretty chilled about it. So I guess Bedard is the chill guy. I like that. So good to see that. It sounds like, pretty much everything we've heard this story before. Betsy's obviously, he's happy here in Chicago and, the extension's going to get done. I'm sure there's still going to be a bunch of, noise around that. Oh, they're letting it wait until next year. But, there's nothing, it's not really that deep. I think just the Bedard and his camp, it makes sense for them to wait. I'm sure his agent was on him about that. So, wait for the third year of his ELC to expire, have a better season this upcoming year than the 67-point season last year. I just realized that Bedard had 67 points last year. That is hilarious. Okay, that's the last joke I'll make today. No. I just had to get that in there. I don't know how I never noticed that before. That is hilarious. But no, good to see this. And that'll get done when it gets done. Although we have heard that kind of language. It's kind of interesting how, we look at the McDavid situation too. It's kind of similar. Oh yeah, it'll get done when it gets done. But no reason to worry there. No reason to worry there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not worried too much about this at all. I mean, unless it gets to that deadline next year and it's still a question mark. But right now, there's no reason to panic about this, I'd say. I mean, the only people panicking are Vancouver Canucks fans who want him to come to Vancouver. So yeah,
the delusion's still real over there.
Yeah, y'all ain't getting him, sorry.
He's ours, I'm afraid. Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, it's good to see though. He's a chill guy. He's chilled about it, man. Yeah, I think he's just focused on the season ahead. I don't think it's going to happen in season. By the way, I think this is going to happen next summer. You're not going to see a contract. It may be nice if it happened in season, but they're going to wait until the conclusion of the year, I think, to get this done. And I think for both sides, it makes sense. So not too worried about there. I think just getting the Frank Nazar extension done is a W, and then that'll come when it comes. So good news there. Another extension worth talking about, hasn't happened yet, same as Bedard, but it will happen down the road, is Spencer Knight. We did see a big extension in the NHL world last night that I think it's worth talking about here in the Blackhawks Hour. Dustin Wolf, he got a 7-year by $7.5 million deal. That could be, I think you look at the type of contract like that for a young goaltender, obviously a big season for him last year. He was second in the Calder Trophy voting. Was a big reason why the Flames had 96 points and nearly made the playoffs last year. So I look at a contract like that, depending on how Spencer Knight performs this upcoming year, that's definitely a contract that's sort of like you could view it as a ceiling, a benchmark for him. Probably max 7.5 on the Knight deal, depending on how he does. But if you can get that in the $6 million range, that'd be pretty solid as well. But I think you can look at that as sort of it gives you an idea of what the Spencer Knight contract is going to look like.
Yeah, I agree. We'll see how he does this season. I'm really excited to see him play.
Yeah.
I think the Dustin Wolf contract will be a steal for the Flames eventually.
Yeah, that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a top 5 goalie in the league in 2 to 3 years. So if Spencer Knight can follow that same trajectory on a similar contract, that'd be beautiful. Last season we had flashes. The numbers overall weren't amazing, obviously, but
the team around him was the best.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't do that much with the team around you to get wins, but. Yeah, I think this season is going to be huge for, kind of figuring out what that value is.
Yeah, he gave me hope, honestly. Just kind of watching him play and the drive and the dedication really gave me hope for next season. I mean, everybody's saying this is our franchise goalie with him and Soderblom. Soderblom improved. I will say that. I will give him credit. But now we have 2 decent goalies here, so I'm very optimistic about our goaltending. Let's just see if everybody else can get into shape.
That's right, yeah. And we got a Soda extension this past summer. Soda! So hopefully that Knight Soda connection could be pretty solid in net there. Knight's, it's going to be his first season really as a true starter. He's going to get you'd think he's going to get the workload in the games there, probably like a 60-40 split, something like that. I imagine Soda's going to get a good chunk of starts. I mean, he's definitely pretty experienced there as a backup fringe starter if needed. So I think that's a good tandem that can kind of push each other, right? A 1A, 1B. So looking forward to that. I would say, like, you could look at this Hawks roster and, I mean, how good's it going to be? How much wins are they going to get? How much points? But I would say one area of the lineup I'm not really concerned about is the goaltending. Like, I think Knight Soderblom could be quietly one of the more underrated tandems in the league. Like, I know it's a young tandem. It's a bit unproven. But I think there's a lot of potential there, both of them. A lot of potential on the blue line as well. Like, it's kind of a similar situation. A lot of unproven young talent, but I think the potential there is really sky high. We might not see it this year, but I think in the future there's a lot to look forward to there. So, no, I don't think that's going to be a problem from the Hawks standpoint in that. I don't think that's going to be an issue. And yeah, we also got, I don't know if you guys have been seeing, like, we've got a media tour going on this week. Yeah. We're getting the headshots coming in. And we got a beautiful one from the Blackhawks here. You got to see this, man. I don't know if you've seen the latest Connor Bedard portraits. You know I had to bring this up. I mean, just look at this guy with his arms folded. Like, he looks like he means business this year, folks.
He's ready.
He's ready. Just look at the look in his eyes, man. Like,
he's hungry.
Yeah,
he's hungry.
Absolutely. Check the Hawks social media so you can see the photo I'm referencing. But yeah, he looks like he's in good shape. You could tell the summer training routine's really been paying off there. I think he needs to send me his routine, man. I got to get in his game, man. Like, look at those arms, man. Man, look at the veins pumping. He's in good shape there. So
yeah, that's second picture kind of looks like he's about to be in like a YSL perfume ad.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
it is very. Yeah.
It is very like,
it's definitely those vibes.
It's like, find me at Macy's.
Mm-hmm. I like how he's wearing the black too.
It's perfect.
He's wearing the black, for the 31 other teams' funerals. So that'll be pretty nice there.
Oh,
breaking news here. Oh,
breaking
wow.
news at CHR.
News I absolutely just love to hear. I just love how this news drops right during the show. Michael Misa has just signed his ELC with the San Jose Sharks. Oh, scary! Shivery timbers. Well, yeah. I mean, that's good for them. That tells you he's probably going to be playing with the Sharks this year, and he'll be competing with Sam Renzel and Artie Lebshinov for the Calder Trophy. So that'll be a lot of fun to watch there. And Bedsy versus Misa, Celebrini Smith, absolute cinema. Yeah, and Nazar as well. That'll be a fun rivalry there. So we'll talk about that more in the NHL hour. This is the Blackhawks hour, but interesting to see that came in. Plenty more to talk about from that regard. But yeah, no, it's good to see this time of year with the media, the headshots coming in. It just tells you the hockey's upon us, man. Good to see everybody coming in. And I know you saw Lucas Reichel's and his European mugshot. What'd you think about that, Natalie?
Absolute cinema.
Yeah.
Lucas Reichel, the man that you are. But no, I saw a couple of comments saying this looks like a Abercrombie and Fitch ad, and I could not agree more. I just feel like his personality was really captured. I'm saying that like I know the guy, but I mean, he's a little cinnamon roll, that boy.
Cinnamon roll.
Yeah,
that's a new one.
Looks like
Elaborate?
you know those things where it's like looks like can kill you is a cinnamon roll. Or looks like can kill you, will actually kill you. Reichel in those pictures, like, he means business. I see it. He's hungry too, just like Bedsy is. But he's kind of got like that little softer look in his eyes. And I'm just saying, like, looks like he could kill you is a cinnamon roll.
Okay, I see the vision.
Do you get the vision?
I see the vision now.
Do you see the vision?
Now that you've explained it, I get it. I didn't understand it at
picking
first.
up what I'm putting down?
Now I got it. Now I got
board,
it. That's
yes.
good. I hope, man, year 3 of hoping that this is the year that Reichel figures it out. That would be nice because he could be such a solid X factor for this roster. Like, you look at it, the top 6 is kind of like maybe missing a piece there. Like, if he could just kind of assert himself up there, like, that'd be a huge help. I mean, I'm not holding my breath there, but you never know.
I'm very excited to see what he does in the Olympics, though.
Yeah.
Like, will we get prime Reichel back?
That's kind of his game. He loves his international hockey, right?
He does.
Yeah.
He does. I don't
agreed.
blame him, though. Like, I really don't blame him, but yeah, it'll be a change of pace for him, and I feel like he could really benefit from that. And I keep saying this, but his confidence is probably boosted knowing that he's one of the 6 people that already made the team.
You would think that would help, right?
Yeah, exactly. You would think that it would help. And like I said, I see him putting in the work, off-ice training, and yeah, I just really hope he can get it together for one more year, and hopefully they'll re-sign him.
Yeah, hopefully that number 73 jersey, him wearing it with Germany and also with the Hawks, some continuity there. I'm sure he'd like that.
A little fun fact. Every single time I buy a jersey of a player that I like, they either get traded or get dropped. So, it happened to Trey Mancini when I got a
Cubs
Trey
legend.
Mancini Cubs jersey.
Well,
and
Orioles legend, really.
literally probably the week after I got it, he got DFA'd. And then I found my old Kane jersey, and the next week he got traded to the Rangers. So I don't think I'm gonna buy a Reichel jersey right now, you guys.
No, I don't think that was a good time for that.
I support your decision.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Please do not.
I will not. Thank you.
That happened to me with Alex DeBrincat. I got a DeBrincat jersey in the Christmas of 2021. Then he was traded that summer, and I was just absolutely furious. So that's a big reason why I'm sometimes hard to Kevin Korchinski. Just like you better be that guy, pal.
Yeah.
You
We
better
traded
work.
Cap for you. You better
You guys
figure it
ready
out.
for some jersey lore?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah.
No.
Let's see. 2022, I believe it was 2021 Christmas. Bought a Kirby Doc reverse retro jersey. He was gone within 18 months. 2022 bought a Dominic Kubalik jersey right before the season started. He's gone. 2019 got a DeBrincat jersey for Christmas. He was gone. 2022 right before Brandon Hagel got dealt to the Lightning. I also got his jersey for Christmas. So to anyone out there, please don't get me a jersey for Christmas.
I think the moral of the story is that we need to stop buying jerseys.
Honestly, like that's crazy how it always seems to happen, right? Now it's like I don't get a player's jersey unless I'm absolutely certain that he's going to be a part of the core. I got the Frank Nazar jersey actually last Christmas ahead of the Winter Classic, a Nazar Winter Classic jersey. So seeing him sign that 7-year deal, I'm like, finally I got it right. So it's good to get it right every now and then, right?
You broke the curse.
Broken clock is right twice a day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chat's saying don't buy, but I'm ahead of you guys. I already bought it, but I already bought a couple Bedard jerseys.
I
So,
think that was
yeah.
directed towards me. I also don't have a
fair
Bedard
enough.
jersey.
Okay.
So
Do you have one, Charlie?
I do not. I have a Crawford and a Shaw.
I know Nolan has
I feel
one.
like you can't go wrong with those.
Those are two
Yeah,
pretty solid ones.
Yeah, Nolan's only current Blackhawk jersey is a Bedard jersey, so I'm sorry in advance.
I have
Please don't say that.
I have a Kane jersey, which is living in the back of my closet because I'm still upset about it. And I have a Patrick Sharp jersey, and I also have a St. Patrick's Day Marian Hossa jersey.
Wow, that's nice. I'm actually shocked you don't have a Reichel jersey.
Okay,
Yeah.
you know what? Me too. But at the same time, I think it's for the better, given what I had said earlier.
Yeah, and that's a good point. Well, if you don't get it right, yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
I mean, if he gets traded or if he resigns, then I'll get it.
Okay.
But like, given his current situation, not happening. Maybe I'll get a Germany Reichel jersey. I feel like that
like
could be
that.
cool. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. When it was like 2021, I was like this close to buying an Ice Baron Berlin Lucas Reichel jersey because those
Okay.
were sweet.
You know what? If
Those
you
were
had done
sweets.
that, I would have paid you any amount of money. I would give you a blank check to buy it off of you.
Blank check. I think we could still make that happen.
But
Hey, better late than never, right? I'm trying
Better
to think
late than
what
never,
other
better
Hawks
late than
jerseys.
never.
I have Betsy, I have Nazar, I have Kaner, Hossa, DeBrincat, Chalmerson, Keith. There's probably a few more in there. Those are the ones I can think off the top of my head. I'll have to take a look at my closet, and I'll report back on Friday what I missed, if I missed anything. But I'd say I think maybe a little question to pose, like of the current Blackhawks, what are you guys thinking? Like for your next jersey purchase, who are you guys considering?
Spencer Knight.
Spencer Knight?
yeah,
That's
that's
a good one.
I I was a goalie. I got a Crawford jersey. It's
Yeah.
only right that I support the Tendies.
Okay.
Get a Knight
Yeah.
jersey. Yeah.
I respect that. How about you?
Nolan, how about you? Let me think.
Oh,
fair
okay,
enough.
okay. I think honestly, I'd go Sam Renzel.
I respect that.
I'd either go Sam Renzel or fun fact. I think it was 2017. I want to say 2016 or 2017. I bought a jersey from a Land Down Under. And it actually wasn't a Land Down Under. It was one of those Chinese jerseys that you buy.
Ni hao.
Ni hao. Yes.
DH Gate.
Yeah, DH Gate or whatever it was. It was supposed to be a Teuvo Teravainen jersey, and it turned out to be a Patrick Kane jersey. So
Hey, that's a happy
maybe I might get
accident right
Teuvo
there.
for some retribution. But yeah, I think number one, I think it's Sam Renzel for me.
I think it would either be a Nazar one or a Colton Dock one.
Colton Dock. Interesting.
Interesting.
I like Colton Dock a lot. Or Oliver Moore.
Morsey.
I like
yeah.
Oliver Moore. But I want to pose a question to everybody
Sure.
now. Kind of, we're talking about Hawks jerseys and merch and everything else. What is the weirdest or rarest piece of Hawks memorabilia or merch you have?
Oh my goodness gracious!
That is a good question.
Pretty much my pretty much
is a
my
good one.
entire
I'll
house
give
is
it to you,
weird
Nat. That was a
stuff.
good one.
Nolan, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. It's not in the office here. It is actually on one of my many bookshelves at home. This was probably given to me, I want to say 15 or so years ago from a Benny's. It is an empty wine bottle signed by Tony Esposito.
Wow, that's really
Yeah,
nice.
so I'll put that as the rarest one. Yeah.
Okay.
So you read a lot of books. You got a lot of bookshelves.
Look like we got ourselves a Rita.
Yeah,
Wow.
this guy is erudite.
Let's say I used to be back in grade school to help me fall asleep, and now how do I fall asleep? It's watching Connor Bedard highlights. So
You fall asleep watching Connor Bedard highlights?
I
Glazing
can't
is
explain the
unreal.
No, that
science
wakes
behind
me
it.
up.
I can't explain the science behind it, but normally, I'm like falling asleep at like the tail end with like 3 minutes left, and then it switches to celebrating highlights, and then I am not cold.
Oh, okay, fair
You know
enough.
what,
All right, all right.
Nolan, I'm going to challenge you to a Goodreads off. Let's see who can read more books before the year ends. Currently, I am on 2.
Currently, I am on -3,
There you
so
go.
you've got a pretty big lead ahead of me.
Oh, thank you.
I haven't been keeping track. I guess I'm ahead of you guys.
Well, you know what? You're a reader. You're an intelligent little lad, so.
Oh,
Did
well,
anyone
appreciate
ever
that.
have those like reading logs back in grade school?
Yes!
That, like,
Oh
could,
my
Yes!
goodness.
No,
Yes.
and then you could like turn on those reading logs at the end of the year for like a trip to Six Flags.
Yes, the Six Flags,
Did
the
you get
Yeah.
like
ice
the
cream
tickets?
party.
Yeah, well, I had
Yeah.
season tickets to Six Flags, so I didn't really bother with
Wow,
that.
look at you go.
Who remembers the summer bridge books?
The Summer Bridge
Like
books.
summer reading.
No, it
Oh,
was
Magic
like,
Treehouse.
It was
Magic
like
Treehouse.
Nope.
yes, Magic
Yeah,
Treehouse,
yeah.
but no, summer bridge books were like it was everything, like reading, math, phonics, science, and it was just like these little workbooks that you would have to do the entire summer. And if you do it, you get like an ice cream party or a pizza party or something. But I will never forget the last year I was eligible to do a summer bridge book. I figured out that the answers were in the back. So if any of my grade school teachers are watching this, I'm so sorry. I don't know how to do math. I'm just really bad at it. That's why I got a degree in talking. But yeah,
Yapping.
I wanted that ice cream party so bad. I wanted it so bad. And yeah, anyway, getting back on track here, I'd say the weirdest thing that I have in my basement is a Patrick Sharp life-sized cardboard cutout of him drinking a bottle of Coke.
What?
Is that
Yes,
sponsored?
It is, yes. But I don't even know how. It just kind of appeared. My mom is a very big Patrick Sharp fan.
Mine is too.
She called him the better
I feel like
Patrick.
all the moms are Sharp fans.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, Mom, Kane is where it's at. But yeah, I mean, it kind of lived rent free in my mind and in my storage room. I'm in the basement, so I walk into the next room and I would just see Patrick Sharp. Cardboard cutout Patrick Sharp is not real. He can't hurt you.
He's just
And
staring
then
at
he's
you.
like, I'm in your walls.
That's hilarious. It's funny you bring up Patrick Sharp. I actually have a funny Patrick Sharp story. He actually last week he liked one of my Beehawks posts.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a Seth
go.
Jones edit, and he liked it. So that was pretty funny. I wasn't really expecting that. So Patrick Sharp confirmed noseball.
There you go.
I miss Sharpie, man. I miss a lot of those former
Yeah.
Hawks. I would say for me, most random Hawks memorabilia. Well, I would say back in 2013, the newspapers they used to have like a one player that they focused on every day during like the Stanley Cup playoffs. They'd have like a poster of said player,
The full page.
the full page
Yeah, the
cut
full
out.
page, yeah.
So what we did, well, I say what we did because I didn't really do it. Like we would cut out that page, and that we would frame each like picture on the wall. So I'm in my bedroom, my childhood bedroom. I have the entire 2013 Blackhawks roster. All their cutouts on my wall, like
That's
just
awesome.
staring at me in my bed. So.
That's awesome.
I honestly have the exact same thing, but
What?
on one side it's 2016 Cubs,
Yep.
and on the other side it's like an assortment all the way from like 2009 all the way to 2017 Blackhawk stuff from the Sun-Times or the Tribune. So like I've got like a specialized Patrick Kane corner. I've got Scott Darling, Nick Jalmerson, Corey Crawford, like the picture of them winning the cup at home. on one side, and then on the other side, it's guys like Ben Zobrist and Javi Baez and Kyle Hendricks.
Hey, wait, the Cubs stuff really ruins it.
Come
Justin,
on.
get
Come
outta here.
on.
Yeah, I was gonna say Nolan.
You're overpowered.
I have to go on a quick Cubs transition. Like another big reason why I can't stand the Cubs. I am convinced.
Here we go.
that 2016 World Series cursed the city of Chicago sports.
my
I don't think it's coincidence. Absolutely nobody has won anything since 2016. Like they couldn't win anything for over a century, and they had to sell the city's soul to the devil to
Or
get one championship.
Maybe it's just because all of our teams are bad. Have you
It's
ever thought about
incompetence.
that?
It's been 9
It's not
years.
a coincidence. It's incompetence.
It's a curse.
It's
It's
a
Cubs
coincidence.
are always cursing the city, man.
It's been 64 years.
Is it 84
I think
years
it
from
is
Titanic?
84.
It is 84.
But like
yeah.
when
Yeah.
I was thinking about it, I'm like, I mean, what are you? If it's Rose telling the story, like, is she like in her hundreds or something? Because she's gotta have been at least 20. Like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I think it is 84 years, but the
Yeah,
logic
it's
is
84.
just not making sense there to me, in my opinion. But you know what? I can't argue with cinema. Can't argue with the Titanic. You know.
Yeah, great
Fair
film
enough.
though. Shout out Billy Zane.
Yeah, no. Every time I hope the ending's gonna result differently, and it just doesn't. You ever
Just
do that
doesn't.
with movies? Yeah, that's the
it's
worst.
not a choose your own adventure book.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fortunately. Well, that was a fun little transgression, but
I loved that.
Yeah.
Wait, did we
that
hear
was fun.
Charlie's
Yeah,
yet?
I was.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
Charlie,
Did I cut
hold
you
on,
off?
hold
I'm so
on, hold
sorry.
on.
No, you're all good.
Yeah.
I was still kind of thinking, but I think I finally landed on probably my rally towel from 2015.
Yeah.
Oh,
Stanley
you brought
Cup
that in here
Finals.
one day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's floating somewhere around in the studio.
Oh, that's
but
cool.
Yeah, rally
it's
towel.
floating around.
It's floating.
Yeah,
I hope it's not floating.
Yeah.
But
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
it's like a magic towel.
I believe game 4.
Of 2015.
Yeah, of the
Which,
final.
of the final. Okay,
Right? Because we won
Yeah,
at
and
home
then-
in game 6. So
Yeah.
yeah, yep.
we won that game because I know we were down 2-1. Then we won the rest of the games of the series. I recall. Yeah, the only one we won on home ice of the 3 finals, and they were all in game 6. I always find that interesting. Every single final they won was always in game 6. The Hawks never needed game
I
7.
love that Keith goal at the end.
Oh, that's
of that.
iconic. That's iconic.
absolute
Yeah,
cinema.
all timer.
Yeah. And then, of course, the side back to Richards across to Kane. That lives in my head rent free every single day. The good old days. Speaking of the good old days, the Blackhawks have come out with some new promotions this year. It's just actually nice to see them actually bring that back. I don't know where that's been the last few years. I recall back in the 2010s, the Hawks used to do a good job with all the bobbleheads and promotions. That kind of went away the last few years. But
Yeah.
for the Centennial season, they brought it back. I know they've been releasing some bobbleheads for this upcoming season. They actually look pretty good, too. Like sometimes bobbleheads don't look anything like the player they claim, but they actually look pretty damn good. So definitely have to try to get to some games this year and increase my bobblehead collection. I have some bobbleheads, but definitely could add to the collection there. So
What's your favorite?
favorite bobblehead I
Yeah.
have? Oh, it's a tough one. I have a lot of White Sox bobbleheads in the games I've been to there. But a lot of them broke, which is, man, that sums up the White Sox
Yeah, I
for
was
you.
just
But
gonna say.
we got a Tavo Teravainen Hawks one. That one's pretty
Ooh,
nice. Maybe I'll bring
yeah.
that to the studio. That'd be nice for like a live stream or something, like a little Tavo, because that's the only one of like a current Blackhawk that I have. I don't have any current Hawks because they haven't really been selling any
Yeah.
current Hawks
Yeah.
bobbleheads. So
Glad
wonder
they
what's
brought
up
it
with that. Yeah, clock's ticking there. Figure that out. But I would say that's
Another
it for me.
random piece of memorabilia I have is they used to have like magnet bobbleheads. I think this was for a training camp one year, and it's in my kitchen cupboard. There's one of Ryan Hartman, and then there's one of Nick Schmaltz.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I also have a Jonathan Toews bobblehead where if you like fist bump him, he says a random thing, but I forget what the thing is because it's been 10 years of the battery running out. So, because I pressed it like every single day on my way to school.
Very nice.
Little school ritual in the morning.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though I was trying to, run out the door and I'd be 10 minutes late to school, but yeah.
Yeah, I think this is something we talked about this a little bit on the Monday show, but I think we should have a larger discussion about it. Kyle Bedard and the potential of him making the Canadian Olympic squad this year. The reason I bring it up is we got a quote from Bedard from the Player Media Tour that just came in, actually. Bedard, quoting Bedard here, he says, "There's going to be guys that play great and don't make it. That's just how deep it is." That's him and trying to make the Canada's Olympic roster. Hope we can see him on it. I mean, I think, the Canadian squad's going to be loaded. I mean, so it's going to be tough for him, but, if he can get off to a good start, over a point per game, the first couple months of the season, I think he's going to have a shot. But I think that's definitely something for him where it's there's definitely a lot of motivation there to make the team. So what do you guys think? You think Bedsy's got a shot to make the team? We had a discussion about Patrick Kane maybe, and if he can make the U.S. team on Monday. How about Bedsy for the Hawks? Yeah.
I feel like Bedsy's kind of been snubbed from a lot of things. Like, I mean, let's talk about obviously the All-Star thing because he got injured.
Yeah.
Still salty about that, by the way. And the Four Nations. The Four Nations. I just really want to see him play in another tournament, and I feel like he's got the chops to make the Olympic roster. I know it's going to be stacked. I know it's going to be loaded, but they really need to take a chance on these younger kids. And I feel
it's the future
like
of Canada. Yeah.
exactly, and I feel like if Bedard is actually on that roster, there's going to be a lot more viewers, and specifically a lot more American viewers. The country here loves Connor Bedard. Like, he's, even if you don't like the Blackhawks, like, you watch Connor Bedard. And if he makes the roster, I just feel like viewership will go up. And I think it's going to go up anyway because NHLers are back. But yeah, I mean, he needs to be on there. Will he make it on there? I don't know. I certainly hope he will. But we just got to wait and see.
I want to see Canadian Bedard so bad, man. I'll never forget watching him in the 2023 World Juniors in the tournament he had there.
Yeah,
when he wears that Canadian jersey, man, like
Different breed.
He's built different. I hope we can see that at the Hawks soon. I think we will, but he's just so dominant in international hockey, especially for Canada, so clutch. So I think it'd just be a good opportunity for him. That's why I was so upset he didn't make the Four Nations team last year. Unfortunately, he didn't really get off to a good enough start. I'll even admit, did he really play well enough to earn a spot in that team? Probably not, but I'm hoping we can make up for it this year and take that personally. But I think just the experience that I'll provide him playing with players like of his caliber, even better than him at the moment. So I think that would work wonders for him. He hasn't really had the opportunity with the Hawks yet. So we'll see. Hopefully we can make that happen. If not, he'll have plenty of opportunities in the future, just like Frank Nazar for the U.S. So, but I think it's just worth talking about because we know how much Blackhawks we're going to see in the Olympics, right? I mean, Reichel for Germany. Imagine Turbo is going to be there for Finland, and but probably not going to be a bunch of Blackhawks and participating this year. So those are a couple that have a good shot. So hopefully we'll see it. But that's just something we'll have to wait and see as the season develops.
Yeah. Put Bedsy back in the bubble for it.
Absolutely. Well, why not? A little
Bubble
throwback.
Bedsy.
Bubble Bedsy is a different breed of Bedsy.
Even we saw in the NHL, man, his rookie year. Like, look how good he performed. Like, coming back from the broken jaw from Brendan Smith. I still am forgiving him for that. Because obviously I took him out of the All-Star game, like you just mentioned. That was just unfortunate, but he missed 14 games, but still won the Calder anyway because he's just built different. But man, when he came back those last couple months of the bubble, he was like over a point per game. Like, he was cooking, man. He had that 5-point game against the Ducks. Like, I want to see more of that this year, man, because he was just in the zone. I think we will. I think we're going to see a very fresh and a very motivated Bedsy this year. I got a really good feeling.
He's ready.
If you guys had to put a number on a potential point total, what would you set the over-under for Bedsy this year for point total?
This is tough. I think like 75.
75, so 74.5?
Yeah. Something around there.
Okay.
Maybe even like a point or two higher.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll have to see how the year goes, but I think that's a logical number based on his past performance and, the presumed step up this year. I think that's kind of around there. If
you look at his rookie year, right, I mean, if he played the full 82, he would have been around 75 points. So a slight regression to 67 to full 82 last year. So if he could get that would mean if he got back to his rookie year total. But I think he could do better than that. I think he could get around. For Bedsy, I think you want to be around a point per game this year. That's just me saying it. I don't know what his goals are and aspirations. I imagine probably even higher than that, honestly. But I think he can get to at least a point per game this year. That'd be solid. Even above a point per game would be nice. I mean, let's just say he had 82 points in a full 82. That'd be a 15-point improvement. I mean, that'd be pretty damn solid. I don't think you could complain about that. I know the team around him hasn't gotten that much better, but in a way it sort of has, because we're going to see that team we saw at the end of the season, pretty much the full year. March, April. It's going to be a much younger roster and a lot of future Blackhawks core players playing with them. We'll get more reps of 91 this year. Frank Nazar, you have to think. So, new coaching staff around him. So I think he's due for a better year. I don't think we're going to see that again. So what do you think, Natalie?
Yeah, I think he could blow everybody out of the water this year. I kind of agree with you when you say he should be at a point per game. I definitely agree. I think anywhere within upper 70s, low 80s. I really want to see that, and I think he could do it.
Absolutely. How about you, Nolan?
I think, obviously, based on a fully healthy 82 game season, I think Connor Bedard should be put at over under 78.5. I agree with all of you that I think it should be around the upper 70s, lower 80s. I think there's a big chance for a boom. I think there's a chance he could hit 90 points with the right line mates all year. Especially if they start getting chemistry and it's not, every single other game he's switching line mates. I think it was last year he had, like 40 something different line combinations, right?
We better not see that again this year from Jeff.
Exactly.
Mad, Jeff. If there's one thing you could do for us, just build chemistry.
Please,
if we had chemistry, maybe we wouldn't be as bad.
Yeah, consistent line mates, please. Just give them one. I think in the NHL, you see it's a lot of times it's combos, it's connections, right?
Duos.
There's a reason you always see like when the Kane Cat connection delivers or something like that. It's duos, right? The third guy in the line could kind of rotate in, we could have a different guy up there, but you got to give him at least one player, whether it's Teravainen or Donato or even Frank Nazar, like one of those three, just staple him to his wing every single night, and then the third guy can rotate. But definitely want to see better chemistry because even his rookie year, that wasn't an issue his rookie year. Like he always had Kurashev, right? And they built good chemistry. So hope we can see that this year. Whoever it ends up being, I think that would help him out a lot.
Feel the thrill.
You don't want to see two different wingers on your line every game because that's hard to work with that.
Just to put this on the back end of our predictions, the official betting line for Connor Bedard points this year is 72.5.
Wow, so you were pretty close.
Yeah.
72.5.
Did I say 74?
You said 74.5.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty conservative, not going to lie. I think I think that's incredibly conservative.
Yeah.
Really? 72.5 for Bedsy?
Yeah, I get why, but again, I could easily see that total going way over.
I don't think he's going to shoot like below. I mean,
See it
he
going
was
10 over.
He was around 10%. I think he's going to shoot the puck more too. Like I think you're going to see that shot percentage go up a bit. It is no. I think. It's also playing the full 82 injuries, all that.
Right.
That's taken into account. Right, he played the full season last year, but he did in his rookie year. So, but no, I think that would assume he's producing around the same range, maybe a little more than last year, and there's no way it's going to happen again. So, that's safe.
Yep, you heard it from Justin. Take
that's
the
a
over.
good. If we're going to do the Charlie's bets, that'd be a good one for you. I think
I
you
already took his goal totals. 30
That's
plus,
right, the goal total.
Maybe closer to the year. If the
You
line
know
moves
what
up and
the
down a little, we'll see.
the old tale is, right? Life's too
that?
short to bet the under.
Life is too short to bet the under.
Life is way too short to bet the under, and I think 72.5. I would
think
slam the
that's
over.
I am smashing that over. I mean, smashing it. Are you kidding me?
You have to.
Smash. That's
If you believe in the kid, I think you should.
I absolutely believe in the kid.
And then speaking of the kid, I got a quote here from TSN this morning about his Team Canada chances.
Sure.
The quote begins, "I'm trying not to think about it, just go out and play and try to play the best I can and see what happens. If I play great and I don't make it, like I said, there's so many great players. It's not going to be something that I would take personal or anything, but it would be special to be there for sure." And just to note below, he scored 13 goals, 18 assists over 14 combined games with the juniors, 22 and 23, 5 goals and 3 assists in 10 games for the 2024 World Hockey Championship.
And I took that personally.
I was going to say, Bedard, have you seen The Last Dance? No, you should take that personally. If you get cut from the Canadian Olympic team, you should take that personally. Like, that's the mentality you should have. I'm sorry. Like, you should use that as motivation if you don't make the team, which I hope he does. But I'm actually going to have to disagree with my Pookie there. I know if I were in his position, I would hella take that personally. So, fair enough, though. Fair enough. We shall wait and see.
That Bedsy revenge arc, though, if he doesn't make it, is going to be absolute cinema.
You know it. You already know it, man. I believe it's segment time, ladies and gentlemen. We have a new segment that we are debuting on Wednesdays this year. We got Bad Take of the Week Wednesday. I'm sure we're going to have plenty to delve into this week. I guess I'll go first then. My bad take of the week is just it's just Bears fans' optimism going into that week 1 game against the Vikings. We were delusional once again. Not to talk about the Bears again, but I feel like that was an easy take to go on. I think even a lot of us in the Monday show, I think, expected to win and it didn't happen. So yeah, just Bears delusions, Bears optimism. That is my bad take of the week. Who would like to go next?
Can't disagree with that at all.
Yeah.
I kind of had 2. So the first one kind of follows your thought process, although mostly about the fallout from the game of Bears Twitter begging for Tyson Bagent to get a shot at starting quarterback after 1 game of Caleb with Ben Johnson. And I just think that's ridiculous.
I agree. We should send Bedsy out there instead.
Yeah.
Yes.
you knew this was going to take time. It's an entire new offense for the Bears and Caleb, and he's still a second-year player learning a completely new system in his second year. And I don't know, just saying we should put Bagent in there after week 1 in a close game that, was very winnable and wasn't all on Caleb. I mean, his reads were good. His accuracy wasn't. But, Bagent's not going to win that game if he's in there.
Yeah, no, that game doesn't
we
change.
still lose that game with Tyson Bagent at quarterback. So that's my worst take, is people saying that he should be starting now after 1 week. And then also the VMAs, I believe, Doechii won a award for the hip hop category for that anxiety song that I cannot stand. That's a pop song. I don't know how the hip hop artists were snubbed with her winning that category.
That's interesting. What would you think of Tate McRae? Not to do a little segue, but I'm sure you saw Tate McRae, her performance at the VMAs. What do you think about that?
She's great.
Yeah.
She's great. I'm seeing her in a couple of months, and I could not be more excited about it. I've been wanting to see her for a long time. I'm kind of upset that I didn't get to go to the Think Later tour, but I'm just really excited for Miss Possessive. I do agree with you, Charlie. There were a lot of artists who do not belong in the category that they won. And it pains me to see, especially over the years with like Best Rock, Best Alternative, that's been kind of a recurring theme, and I just don't like it. I want to say, like, I also kind of have 2 hot takes. Charlie, are you good? Can I take it?
Yeah, go ahead.
But okay, so my first sports take is that it's from college football, and my first hot take is my personal hot take, and I think college football is better than the NFL.
I agree.
Okay.
I take that one.
Cool.
Interesting.
Not that big of a hot take.
But that hot take kind of feeds into this one, and the hot take I have is that people thought Texas was going to blow out Ohio State. And Texas ended up losing 7-14. And it was just absolute no, not at all. I kind of called it from the beginning. I'm like, Ohio State's going to take this. Yeah. Everybody had all their faith in Texas, and no, I didn't. I do like watching Ohio State play. I've always been very fascinated with the Ohio State University. But... And a pop culture one, because Charlie did it, so now I feel like I have to do it. Everybody keeps saying that the new season of South Park is bad.
Are you kidding me? It's been awesome.
I know.
I'm glad Tegrity Farms is finally gone.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. Exactly, yeah. I think we're going to get a lot more content with the original 4 now, and I'm really excited about that. I kind of missed that storyline, that connection. I saw a lot of Easter eggs in the most recent episode. Like, I remember Cartman's girlfriend, Heidi, and... I didn't see her for a while, and she was at the birthday party of Red, and it was nice to see her again. But yeah, I know it's a little controversial, like South Park, but I've always thought it was, it's South Park.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I think they've really been pushing the boundaries this season. I think no stone left unturned. No one is safe from the slander. So I've always respected that about South Park.
Nobody has ever been safe from South Park, even Lord.
It's not that serious. Like, don't take it personally.
The Lord
like, that's something you shouldn't take personally.
No, it was an awesome
if you're getting
episode,
slandered by South Park, that should be an honor. Like, honestly.
Oh my God. Yeah. Feeling good on a Wednesday. It applies. It applies.
Yeah.
It does apply.
Lord.
Last but not least, Nolan, what's your bad take of the week?
All right, so mine was a tweet after the Bears game. I believe it was posted. It was posted yesterday, actually. So the original tweet was the trade graphic from the Panthers and Bears trade that landed the Panthers Bryce Young, and it landed the Bears Caleb Williams, Rome Odunze, Darnell Wright, Luther Burden, and Tyreek Stevenson, amongst others. The quote tweet says, "The first ever blockbuster trade to benefit no party involved in it."
Oh, I saw that.
What?
Yeah.
I think
That's just trolling. That's rage bait.
I get that it could be a troll, it could be rage bait, but there are actually people that believe this, and I think if you're believing this, I think you're full of crap.
A Packers fan had to post that, right?
Absolutely. That's something
Absolutely.
cheesehead material.
No, actually, it was a Panthers fan.
What?
Really?
Yeah,
So they believe
not Florida Panthers, Carolina Panthers.
Right. Yeah.
They believe that we do not have any plus 0.01 value over them that no.
No,
They
I
believe it's
I
even?
think he was just
Delusion.
capitalizing on the fact that Caleb, looked like crap on Monday. I don't think he looked that bad. I think there's a lot to improve upon, but I didn't think he looked, like he obviously didn't look like a number one quarterback, but he didn't look like a 7th round or UDFA quarterback either.
Right. And UDFA is Tyson Bagent.
Yeah.
start, right?
I mean, that's another bad take I can get into. I mean, obviously, listening to a couple of podcasts, people saying that we'd win 10 games with Tyson Bagent and we'd only win 7 with Caleb.
Oh,
That's crazy. That's
a certain
insane.
Chicago
A
podcast.
certain Chicago
That's
sports
just- that's
podcast.
just
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I respect Tyson Bagent a lot. I love his personality, and I just love, especially I love the way he reacted after his contract extension too. Like you could tell how much it means to him. And he's a really solid backup quarterback, but he's not better than Caleb Williams. What are we doing
He
here?
signed that deal here to be the backup and learn under Ben Johnson, and then try to go be a starter somewhere else in a
yeah.
few
Yeah.
years. That's
Go back up
That's
Arch
what that
Manning
is.
or make sure that Arch Manning's good next year in New Orleans. That's
speaking of Arch Manning. Well, you were mentioning Texas. I just wanted to say horns down for everyone.
Right? Yeah.
horns down.
Horns down.
Very interesting.
Also, Ryan Day is a psycho, Ohio State coach.
Yeah. No,
You're up
I don't like him either.
63-0 in the fourth quarter against Grambling State with about 30 seconds, and you're in their red zone. You don't kneel the ball. This guy made it 70-0 with like 20 seconds to
Hot
go.
take. I love that.
I
love that. Stat pad. Why
No,
not?
I like
I was
it
looking
personally.
at my TV like, wow, this guy's an a-hole when I saw the score change. But
see-
I get the killer mentality. He is a national champion for a reason.
It annoyed me more in sports when the opposing team will go up 5 goals and they just stop trying after that. No, I want you to try your hardest against us for the whole game. Even if we get killed, I think that's the way. I think that's the way it should be. Maybe that's a boomer mentality for me, but I never liked it when teams would go easy on you after they went up and the game was already quote unquote over. The game isn't over until the game is
Yeah,
over.
we're
so.
still here to play,
Exactly, and entertain. I think that's the right mentality to have. Actually, I like that. Well, I'll let you Cubs fans. I'm sure you guys have a little bit you want to talk about there. I'll let you all get your piece in there about Rizzo.
Oh, our boy,
Anthony
our beautiful
Rizzo,
boy.
he
Charlie, I think you
were
should show
a
off who's on the
gem.
back of that jersey.
Got to get up to do this. There we go.
We got to give your stick taps in.
Had to represent our beautiful Italian Chicago Cub on this day. of
That's
his
my
retirement.
captain right there.
Yep. Cancer
Put a C
survivor.
on his jersey.
Of course. I mean, that man had a hell of a career. I'm very happy that he's coming back and being honored this Saturday. I want to go to that so bad, but yeah, it's great. I'm very happy about it. And he was such a star. He was really a star. He was a vital part of our team. He stuck with us until the very end. Never was distraught, never had any doubts, and he stuck with us until we won a World Series. And those were some of the best days of my life when I was watching Cubs baseball, and all the grit and all the fight that everybody put into that. And I feel like Rizzo had such a huge part in it. Very inspirational guy on and off the field, very helpful to the community. He always wants to give back. And I just don't think that when he signed with the Yankees, it just wasn't the same for him. And I will never forgive them for trading him away. I think he should have been a Cub up until this point, but congrats on one hell of a career, Rizzo. Chicago loves you. We love you. I love you. You are outstanding.
Wow, very well said. I don't even have anything bad to say, honestly. As a Sox fan, he seems like a really good guy on and off the field. So, no, Chicago sports legend, and no, respect is due. I think Chicago is his true home. Never really, it only felt weird seeing him in the New York Yankees colors. It never, that never felt right. Even as a Sox fan, what is this utter woke nonsense? So, how about you, Nolan? You got your anything to say about Rizzo?
I mean, honestly, as I alluded to earlier, they should have put a C on his chest. I know that a couple of organizations have done that before. I believe the Kansas City Royals do that right now for Salvador Perez. But I think Rizzo embodied everything that the 2016 Cubs were. Obviously, the first one to be the first piece of the puzzle that was actually up in the major leagues for that team. And just all around, such a consistent guy on the field and an even better person off the field. Natalie alluded to it, the amount of stuff that he would do for children's hospitals for kids fighting cancer, because he was a cancer survivor himself. You can't not root for that guy. I think he deserves all the love in the world. It doesn't matter that he wanted to go to New York. He wanted to go to New York. Good for him. I'm never going to have a bad thing to say about Anthony Rizzo, and I'm so glad he gets to retire as a Cub on Saturday.
Yeah, it's going to be an electric day at Wrigley, I imagine. I'm sure it's selling out as we speak since that announcement.
There's a couple big Chicago sports event this weekend, right? I mean, we got the Rizzo retirement, and we got the week 2 of the Bears, and obviously the biggest of all was the 2 Blackhawks prospect showcase games, right? I think those are clearly like the games everybody's really looking forward to the most of all those events, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, I think that'll do it for the Hawks hour. We will be transitioning the NHL hour. By the way, I know I've seen some comments in chat. We will have plenty to say about Kirill Kaprizov. Don't you worry. We'll get plenty of Kirill the Thrill talk, and I think we'll find a way to tie it into the Hawks as well. Maybe in our delusional sphere. Maybe it's not so delusional anymore. We'll have plenty to say about that when we get back on Chicago Hockey Radio.
I'd like to file a claim.
Second hour of the CHR show. Second CHR show, second hour. Some nice alliteration there. Yes, sir, baby. Before we delve into all the NHL topics, just a quick reminder, if you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple, wherever you get your podcasts, give us a 5-star rating and review. Really appreciate that. If you haven't liked this YouTube video yet, if you're watching us live right now, like the video up, share it around, and remind people live right now. Really appreciate that. Means a lot to us. Yeah, I think the first topic of NHL Hour is very clear. We alluded to that in the Blackhawks Hour. The story of the day, the big story of the day that I think could really apply to the Hawks is Kirill the Thrill Kaprizov, baby. I remember we talked about it a little bit last year at CHR when those initial reports came out from Mark Lazarus stating that they stated there might be a connection there, between Kaprizov and Chicago. And we thought, it sounds great, but it's probably delusion. There's probably nothing there. I don't know, man. We just heard from Frank Saravalli, insider Frank the Tank Saravalli, that Kirill Kaprizov has turned down an 8-year, $16 million offer from the Minnesota Wild that would have made him the highest paid NHL player ever. And honestly, from what I'm hearing from McDavid, that's probably around what if that deal is going to come in. And I've always heard $16 million. So Kaprizov, $60 million deal. That's not enough in Minnesota land. I mean,
Yeah, that is shocking.
Can we start getting delusional here, Chad? I mean, does he want to stick around in Minnesota? I think if he wanted to stick around in Minnesota, I think you'd take that $16 million deal. That was a rough voice crack there, but you could just tell how excited I am at the prospect of, 2026, Kirill the Thrill Kaprizov. I mean, the Hawks have amongst the highest cap space in the league. I mean, you talk about what next year's market could look like. And if he hits the open market, man, oh my goodness gracious, that's a guy that you do whatever you can to get him here in Chicago.
Yeah.
Kirill
Next summer is
Kaprizov.
starting to look a little crazy.
There's a chance now. It's not just illusion. Like, there's a real chance, and how high's percentage of that chance? Who knows? It might be low, but there is a % chance where it's worth talking about.
There's a non-zero chance.
There's a non-zero chance. That's right. It's just weird because I remember like all the insiders were saying, "Oh yeah, the talks are ramping up this week as the Wild get back to training camp. We should see a deal done soon." And then yet we get this. So that's very interesting indeed. And I wonder what's going on over there in Minnesota.
Do you also want me to feed into the delusion here, or what?
Yeah, please.
Yes.
Yeah,
Please.
So yesterday, Frank Saravalli was on Bleacher Report's Open Ice talking about the extension, and he said he is standing by his prediction of an 8-year, $15 million AAV contract for Kaprizov. Now,
What?
It was yesterday he was talking about 8x15 being the contract for Kaprizov. Now today, having 8x16 being rejected by Kaprizov, it makes you think a little bit. Mm-hmm. It makes you think about, I don't know what the hell's going on in Minnesota. What's going on with Kaprizov here? Are they going to lose their guy, or are they going to have to pony up to, let's say, 17 and a half to get it done?
This is justice for that Vikings loss Monday Night Football. This is absolute justice right here. The thought of Minnesota Wild losing their one-star player in their entire franchise history. Yeah. And that is, you look at their franchise history. Kaprizov is really the only star they've ever had. They've had good players. They've never had a Kirill Kaprizov. He is that entire team. They lose Kirill Kaprizov. I know they have a lot of good players in the system. They got a solid team there, but without Kaprizov, that's not going to work, man. That is their franchise. So I imagine they're going to do everything they can to get him locked up. And if $16 million's not going to get it done, what is going to get it done? Is it 17? Yeah. Is it 18? Is it whatever the max is? 20? Like what do you want, Kirill?
And this is obviously going to affect McDavid's talks as well. Seeing this, like, what is his agent thinking when he sees this?
Like, we might have to pony up a little more there. I know we were thinking 16, but if Kaprizov doesn't want 16, what's McDavid going to get?
Yeah, and also, it could be, who knows if it's a term thing or a money thing, maybe he does not want to be tied up in Minnesota for 8
we know McDavid, we've been hearing a lot. It's going to be a short-term deal, like maybe 3-4 years by 16. He doesn't want to take too much money to where the Oilers have no room to conduct more business, right? Make more deals in the future. If they need, a goaltending change, if Skinner's still, learning his Chinese, so they, a lot to figure out there. But this is fascinating, man, because Minnesota has the facilities there where it's like they could kind of, the ball is really in Kaprizov's court here. Like he kind of runs the table here. It's not like they have a bunch of. They just extended Rossi for $5 million, which he probably bridge deal. He probably could have made more than that. Like bottom line, Minnesota has the tools where they should be able to theoretically give Kaprizov what he wants. But man, that would really put him in a bind too. Like I know the cap's going up, but if you're paying Kaprizov, north of $16 million, it doesn't leave a whole lot more to get much else done. So if even signs, if 8 years, he doesn't want to bind himself in Minnesota for the rest of his career. Like maybe he's looking for a 4 or 5 year deal. Maybe he's looking for a shorter term deal. Maybe it's not money. Maybe he's happy with the $16 million. It's just the 8 year deal. Maybe it just kind of scares him.
Maybe it's more of a we see how it goes for a few years in terms of this team being competitive, and then also, I think that he wants to not have the distraction. So I think it could come pretty quick after this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to take all
the
way to July 1st.
That's going to
It's either we sort this out now. What do you want? Do you want a shorter term? Do you need more money? But I think the Wild are kind of scrambling right now.
That's their top priority.
They are running around in those front offices right now.
It's like that SpongeBob. He was SpongeBob running around the fire and all like the papers. You know what I'm talking about? That's the Minnesota Wild. And I'm trying to figure out this Kaprizov contract. You gotta get this done before the season.
You really
do. If
do.
you don't, like, you're dealing with this. So you're worrying about this all year. The drama that's going to create in the team.
Yeah,
like
that's all you're going to be hearing every time they play. You're going to hear it in interviews every game.
Yeah, that's going to be a story all year. So they better figure that out. I'm hoping they don't figure it out because that would be a potentially great news for us. Because I mean, you look at teams that if he were to hit the open market, teams that have a really good shot to get him. I don't think we're being delusional. I think the Hawks would be close to the top of that list. I'm not saying for certain they'd be number one, but I think they'd definitely be in the conversation. You know, in terms of teams that are going to be really active next year in free agency. You know, they waited. They did do nothing. They did nothing this summer for a reason because it was a really weak class, and the Hawks' contention window isn't there yet. A year from now, I reckon that's going to change. I think a year from now is going to be time to be aggressive, especially if these types of players are going to be available. Which there's still a long way to go there until that happens. But if that were to be the case, that'd be something. I think if for Kaprizov, you'll look at it. Been at the Wild for 5 years. How much playoff series have they won during that time? Just a little question.
0.
They haven't won a single playoff series during the Kirill Kaprizov era. I think that plays a big part here. I think Kaprizov knows that. They haven't really achieved any playoff success thus far. They're sort of the Maple Leafs of the West, but nobody cares about because it's the Wild and it's not the Maple Leafs. So it's kind of quieter and people miss it. But that's something that for him. I think Kaprizov will be focused on this season and making the best of it. And you look at the Wild last year, man. Like they started off the year as one of the better teams in the league because he was killing it over there. He was probably in line for the Hart Trophy. Then he went down with that injury and missed the majority of the season. They didn't fall off a cliff. They stayed in the playoff race and they just about made it. But the Wild nearly missed the playoffs last year. That was a big part of because Kaprizov was out for pretty much the majority of the season, about half the year. Then he came back, and all of a sudden they looked dominant again. And they had a good playoff series against Vegas. I know they lost it, but it was a close series, tight knit. It just shows you how important he is to that team. So
and speaking of the Rossi and the Kaprizov situations, so I'm reading an article right now from Gone Puck Wild.
That's cool.
A Wild.
A Wild
a
situation.
Minnesota Wild blog. Yeah, and it is a wild situation.
It is.
But they said Marco Rossi's camp rejected a contract that reportedly paid him $5 million a year early in the negotiations, and he ended up signing for $5 million. Mm-hmm. What changed in the deal?
The term.
Yeah. 5 years down to 3.
Okay.
So maybe they're looking at a similar end in this situation. Maybe it ends up being 5 or 6 years.
Well, it's interesting that Frank, threw out $15 million. Then we see the contract is $16 million. They probably raised it. It was probably $15 million by not 8 years, and they raised it by $1 million to try to get him locked up in Minnesota for longer. So we'll see what happens there. If it's the same amount for less years, or maybe even a lesser amount for less years, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Me personally, I'm hoping it all goes disastrously over there. That would be very nice, and support Lazarus's theory a while back at I believe it was the 24 draft where he connected the dots about maybe Kaprizov could have a future in Chicago in 2026. Things go south there in Minnesota, so we'll see what happens as that situation develops. But that will be a story, and probably the biggest story in the NHL landscape right now. I mean, we thought it was McDavid, but now Kaprizov was like, hold my beer. So we'll see what happens there. I think there's a lot of drama about big name players now. It's not just Kaprizov, though. This is less drama, more speculation. It feels like this is always the case with Sidney Crosby. There's always a bunch of speculation about what's going to happen with his future. Heard a lot from Pierre LeBrun over the weekend, or I think yesterday. I should say a lot of tweets about that. I'm quoting LeBrun here. This isn't a Dubas decision. It will be Crosby and Pat Brisson at the wheel. That's his agent. And it's not just Montreal. There's Crosby's good pal Nathan McKinnon in Colorado, who no doubt would love to have 87 with him. That's from the Athletic show. So we'll see. I mean, I think it's hard to imagine Crosby not in Pittsburgh. And honestly, like my heart, brain, I'd say still wants to see him there. Like, would it be fun for the hockey world to see him venture elsewhere, in Avs land or Montreal? I have 0% interest in Montreal. I know. I mean, maybe the hockey world, it'd be good for hockey, but I don't want to see Crosby as a Montreal Canadian. That has zero interest for me.
Yeah, that does not move me.
That does not move me.
That does not move me.
Colorado actually would be a lot of fun. Is Nova Scotia, Tim Hortons buddy over there, Nathan McKinnon. That'd be pretty fun, actually. Although he would be in our division, so there's that. But no, I still think my gut tells me he's still going to extend in Pittsburgh. I just think he's going to be loyal to that team. I just don't see him anywhere else. I mean, I also thought the same thing about, Cater and Taves. So we'll see what happens there in Pittsburgh. I just think the prospect, for Pittsburgh, if you could find a way to make it both work and, keep Crosby around, not let it affect, the process this year in terms of being near the bottom of the standings for Gavin McKenna, then next year that could be a pretty nice little connection there. So we'll see what happens in that regard. But yeah, there's a lot of talk around Crosby.
I have a theory on the Crosby stuff if you want me to
What's up?
Expand on it.
Yeah.
So, looking back at his rookie year, who was he teammates with?
Lemieux.
Mario Lemieux.
Yeah.
Who is still in the ownership part? Mario Lemieux. Did Mario Lemieux ever leave the Penguins?
No, he did not. No, Lemieux
unless he was
always...
going to unless he was going to cancer treatments, he was not. He's not leaving the Penguins. I think there's going to be a little birdie in Crosby's ear named Mario, who says, you don't want to leave the Penguins. You want to restore your legacy here. You want to keep your legacy here forever. You want a statue here. You don't want another team, weighing you down. You should be the ultimate one-team man.
Yeah. Remember who was there for your rookie year, Sydney? It was me, Mario.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pay it forward. Yeah, I still think that's probably going to be what takes place. But, I mean, as long as, there's going to be a lot of talk around that all year. LeBron had some further tweets about it. He's talking more, quoting LeBron again, as each losing season piles up in Pittsburgh, the possibility of him moving on does become more realistic, even if it still is a long shot. That's the thing. Pittsburgh's, clearly entering a rebuild here. So it's like if Crosby wants to win again in his career, as a 39, 40-year-old, it's probably not going to happen in Pittsburgh. Maybe you could see a really quick retool, if they somehow land again McKenna, then that could be a pretty quick process there. You'll see what happens with Malkin as well, but yeah, it's probably a pipe dream to win another cup in Pittsburgh. Get back to the playoffs maybe, and they've been out of the playoffs the last 3 years, and probably have a decently long rebuild ahead of them, just like we've seen in Chicago the last few years. But if you keep Crosby around, maybe that's a shorter process. I mean, he's still putting up 90+ points a season. He's still probably a top 10, top 15 player in the league. So I'd never bet against that guy. So no, I think I agree with you, Nolan. I think in terms of legacy, I think it would be better for him to stick around with the Penguins. I think he's going to be up there. I mean, if he plays his whole career with them, he set the record for most games played for one franchise. He may have already done that actually. I think that'd be a smart play for him. Yeah. Hope he doesn't, actually. I know a lot of people want to see him on the move. I'm not one of those people.
Yeah, I don't want to see it. I could see it happening.
Yeah.
If he wants to, get out of Pittsburgh to chase another ring or anything like that. But he doesn't
He's already
seem
won
like
3.
Yeah,
right?
he doesn't seem like that guy to me.
Yeah.
I could see people, other star veterans, in the twilight almost of their career making that move. He doesn't seem like that guy to me.
You're not that guy, pal.
He's not
Trust
that
me.
guy. Yeah.
You're not that guy.
So then I'm going to pose it here again with another teammate of theirs, Evgeny Malkin, going into his last year of his deal. I believe it has already been announced that he will not be playing hockey in the U.S. after this season. Do you think Evgeny Malkin is on the move?
Well, I'd say he's more likely of the two, because if this is for sure his final season, I could totally see a 2026. Like I don't think this would happen now. I think this would probably be like a 2026 trade deadline move when the Penguins are bottom 5 of the league and trying to increase their tank chances. And what better way than Malkin's still one of their top 2 forwards in the team. So after Crosby, so I could see him as a last gift, sending him to a contender of the 2026 trade deadline and try to go out for cup ring in your last year. If this is his last year, we'll see. There's a lot of talk around what's going to happen with Ovechkin too. Is this his last year? Is this Malkin's last year? We'll see what happens with both of those two legends of the game. But I would say of the two, I'd say Malkin's probably more likely to leave than Crosby. I'd say just based off of that. Because I think Crosby has I think he has a lot more than 1 year left. I don't even think he's. Yeah. I don't even think he's close to done. Honestly, he's still so good. I could see him sticking around for a long time. I'm not saying he's going to be Yager and playing in his 50s, but I could totally see Crosby playing for a solid 4 or 5 more years. I know he's 39 years old, 40, but I could see him playing until his mid-40s. I could be wrong about that, but maybe he can reach a 2,000 point plateau. He'd be the second player ever to reach that. That'd be pretty nice. Second all-time points ahead of Yager and other Penguins. So we'll see what happens in that regard. Yeah, that'd be fun to watch. I think the longer Crosby's in the game, I think the better for the game of hockey. Because with Ovechkin, I think he's definitely more likely to retire first. He's already got the goals record right. This year, he'll definitely punch above his weight and try to extend that record a little bit. Yeah. He's I want to say 3 goals away from 900 goals. So he'll definitely be quite a ways above that after this year. We'll see if this is indeed Ovechkin's last year. We've heard rumors that might be the case that have also kind of been shot down. So we don't know exactly what's going to happen for that regard, but it definitely could be his last season, his last hurrah. Hard to imagine the game of hockey without Ovechkin and Crosby. That's just that makes me feel like I'm reaching UNC status.
Yeah, you may be.
I think I am, Chad. Chat, what do you think? Am I in UNC status? I think I am. You know what's going to be even Saturday when 88 decides to hang him up.
Oh, I don't want to think about that right now.
I
Don't
know.
you dare put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, we talked about him a little bit on the Monday show about his chances of making the Olympic team, but he's also got a lot of milestones that he's approaching. I mean, he has the opportunity to be the all-time highest scoring American-born player in NHL history this year. I believe he's 30 points away from Mike Modano. Somebody can fact-check me on that, but top of my head, I believe he's 30 points away. Some people consider Brett Hull in that conversation, but he has sort of the Canadian-American dilemma going on there that we're sort of seeing with Hudson right now. That he sort of his dad sort of hinted the fact that maybe if the USA stubs in the future, he could go play for Canada, which I think that would be absolute treason, which hopefully doesn't happen.
Can I just comment on that?
Yeah, what do you have to say about that?
I hate like the parents chiming in about like that whole. It seems like kind of a new phenomenon,
Yeah.
like getting the sound bites from the parents, like they've wronged him in this way or this or that.
Bro, it's not your life.
I think
Right.
I think you should let Lane be Lane. If he wants to play for, become the a Team Canada player because he's got the right, citizenship.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, but let him say that.
That's his decision. It's not your decision.
I just hate when the parents come out.
I'm
and
gonna
have outlandish things to say.
Yeah, I'm gonna imagine. I'm just speculating here, but there is no chance that do you think he gave Lane the go ahead, oh, by the way, I'm gonna go on the podcast and say these things. I have a hard time believing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
I wonder what he has to say about that. But anyway, that's another topic of
So
conversation.
I have a couple of updates to that Patrick Kane stat you were inquiring
Sure.
about. Patrick Kane is currently 58 points behind Brett Hull, and he is currently 31 points behind Mike Modano.
Nice.
I was
all-time
close.
scoring lead.
I was so close.
And he is 8 goals off of 500. He is at 492 right now.
So, guys, barring any injuries this year, we are going to see Patrick Kane break the 500 goal barrier and become the highest-born U.S.-born player in American history. And he's going to do that in a Detroit Red Wings uniform. What do we think about that?
Disgusting.
Utter woke nonsense is what
Treason.
that is.
I have no comment
In the
on this.
Blackhawk centennial season.
I can't
That is
deal
insane.
with that.
I'm just glad he plays for an original 6 franchise, I guess.
He's just checking them all off the list, right? He only has the Bruins left in
Infinity
terms of the
Stones.
American ones, right? He's already got the Hawks, the Rangers, the Red Wings. And he's halfway there. I mean, I guess we're going to see Patrick Kane suit up for the Bruins, the Leafs, and the Habs one day. We will not be there.
We will not.
And I guess
be
if
there.
we
You know what? That'd actually be kind of fun if he was. Would that make him the first? Wait, somebody's got to fact check me on this. Has there ever been a player in NHL history who's played for all 6 original 6 teams?
there has to have.
There's got to be one, right?
I mean, you look at currently right
In
now,
the
I think
40s or
Eric
60s?
Gustafson. Eric
Yeah.
Gustafson's got a lot right now. He's
Yeah.
just missing, I think, the Bruins.
Somebody's got to fact
Because
check
he
me on
played.
this.
He plays currently
Vic
with the.
Lynn,
You got one?
Okay.
the only player to ever play for all 6 original 6 teams.
Vic Lynn?
Victor Ivan Lynn played from 1943 to 1954.
Wow,
Wow.
that's insane.
Also, the sole player. Oh wait, no, I thought it said score goal. Nope, just the only player to have played for all 6.
Wow.
Wow, that's insane. That's wild. Damn. I wonder if that's gonna happen. You think it's gonna happen again?
Do we have any candidates right now that have played for like
Eric
3 or 4?
Gustafson.
There you go.
It's the
Gustafson.
thing is-
Eric Gustafson has played for the Montreal Canadiens. He has played for the Chicago Blackhawks. He has played for the Detroit Red Wings. He has played for the New York Rangers. So all he is missing is the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Boston Bruins.
Thing is, it's a lot harder today because Vic Lynn played during the actual original 6 era. There was only 6 teams in the league, and now there's 32 teams, and there might be more in the future in the league. So that makes it a lot trickier today to see that as a reality. One little note I gotta mention: what do you guys think of the fact that the Blackhawks are the only original 6 team in the West and everybody else in the East? What do we think about that?
I like it. We're special.
We're
Yeah,
special.
we're special.
Even
Yeah.
during the expansion era of the 70s, it was like that. Like they kept the Hawks with all the expansion teams, and then it was just the original 6. Okay, fair enough. It's like
Well, I mean, geographically, would you then move the Columbus Blue Jackets back out west and then move us to the east? I mean, geographically, that just doesn't make sense to me
that's
personally.
a little wacky on the.
Yeah.
who
on
cares
the
about
actual
geography?
Geography.
I miss being in the same conference as the Detroit Red Wings. Like that's
Yeah.
our true
Yeah.
idol.
Yeah, I
I know
agree.
everybody says the
I agree.
Blues. Nah. It's the Detroit Red Wings. So I'd love to see see that rivalry kind of rekindled there. It's a little off topic, but I think it's worth delving into. And we talked about a little bit on the show before. Maybe the Hawks being in the East in the future, the Red Wings coming back, or maybe they're just hypotheticals that have no shot of happening. But you never know. I think if the Hawks were to, or the NHL were to, reconsider some NHL, allocations, and if expansion was to occur in the future, I think the Hawks be one of the teams that maybe could be relegated to the East, and I think I'd be okay with that, honestly.
Yeah, I was going to say, we might see some realignment once there's the planned expansion.
Once the Thrashers come back and the Phoenix Coyotes are
Quebec
resurrected,
City,
right?
maybe, who knows?
Yeah, we'll see what happens there, right? I think just closing out this little Crosby book. I know it was a little while back, but I think it's worth making sure we're good there. This is Pat Brisson, Crosby's agent on Crosby. He's also Kane's agent, by the way. Let's put it this way: it's always a possibility. It's been 3 years they haven't made the playoffs. It all depends on how Sid is going to be and how the team is going to be. We kind of talked about that, but I think that's clearly putting the pressure on Pittsburgh a little bit, where it's like, hey, we know you're entering a rebuild here, and Crosby's only got so much time left in the league, so probably like to experience some more playoff hockey. But here's the thing too, is Sid. It's not like he hasn't, doesn't still have a chance to win. I mean, he just won 4 Nations gold with Canada over this past year, and he's going to have a good opportunity to win gold with Canada the 2026 international stage. So it's kind of what I talked about with Kane yesterday, where it's like, is he going to win another cup in Detroit? Probably not, but he's still got a good chance to win gold for the U.S. in the international stage. So maybe that could sort of satisfy his needs to win, where it sort of puts things in perspective with your NHL franchise. I don't know. Maybe that's just a thought, but it is something worth considering.
I agree.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think that's probably enough to say about Sidney Crosby. I'm sure I'll have plenty more to say about him in the future. A lot going on there. We already talked about Kaprizov, but a lot more talks going on. I think the Hughes brothers, that's a topic of conversation. The Hughes brothers, I know over the NHL media tour, Pierre LeBrun asked Jack Hughes about whether the talks about maybe him reuniting with his brothers Jack and Luke in New Jersey in the future. He answered, this is the headline question, honestly, I'm not afraid to say it. Yeah, I'd love for Quinn to eventually play with him, and whether that's in New Jersey or what time it takes, at some point I'd love to play with Quinn. I mean, what about Luke? Well, I guess he's already playing with Luke because this is Jack. But yeah, that's the question going around. They talk all day about in Vancouver, But yeah, I'd love to play with Quinn at some point. What do we think about that? The Hughes brothers all playing together, the trio reunited in Jersey, presumably New Jersey. Presumably this isn't Jack and Luke going to Vancouver. This is Quinn going to Jersey. What do we think about that? You think it's just a pipe dream? You think it could really happen? What do we think?
I think it could happen.
I think it, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll happen.
I think it could.
It could, but I don't think it'll happen anytime soon.
Yeah.
Fair.
I mean, I get that New Jersey is the number one place for a guy like Quinn Hughes to go, but at the same time, you've got so much tied up into the cap there with guys like Pesci and Hamilton taking up, big salaries.
Lewis Hamilton?
No, Dougie Hamilton.
Right.
Lewis, Max Verstappen.
I had to get my F1 joke in there.
Charles
But I just think you think about all the back end talent that they have right now. Obviously, you'd move anything for Quinn Hughes, but I don't think New Jersey will end up doing it.
You don't think so?
It might be crazy for me to think, but you also got to think too that Nemec is due his RFA contract, and I think it was next year, maybe. Yeah, I fact checked that on me. For Luke Hughes is due his RFA deal still. That's a lot of money tied up. I get that the salary cap is also going up, but I don't see it happening.
How about we extend to Luke Hughes? Luke Hughes takes a bit of a nice little deal there to make room for Quinn. Then you deal Nemec. That's your trade bait right there. I mean, that's your that's a number 2 overall pick right there. One of the better young defensemen. I know it's taken a little bit of time to get going in the NHL. Oh, that could be solid trade bait if you were to make a move for Quinn Hughes. Would it not be?
Fact checked you also, and yes, next year for Nemec.
Next year. Okay, well, that's interesting.
Thank you, sir.
It's a fun thought exercise. Again, I don't know, how much if it's going to happen or not, but I think with Quinn Hughes, I think the pressure's on in Vancouver this year. The pressure is absolutely on in Canucks land. If it wasn't already last year with that whole JT Miller, Elias Pettersson situation, I think with this upcoming season, you better make sure that Quinn's happy.
Yeah.
I think it was good on them to get that Brock Besser extension done this summer. It was assumed that he was going to depart from Vancouver, maybe go to Minnesota. So good on them to get that done and keep him around. All those two are good buddies, and keep at least a couple core members around, because we've already seen quite a turnover over there. Need a better season from Pettersson. I mean, I'm not sure what happened last year, but Quinn Hughes is the one guy on the Canucks team who was really consistent last year and showed up on a night-by-night basis. So, I think for Vancouver, the pressure's on, and because that's their franchise player right now. It's one of the best defensemen in the game. That's a Norris winner right there. So it'd be great for the game of hockey. Like, it'd be awesome for the game of hockey to see Jack Quinn and Luke together. I mean, I brought this up before. Imagine those three, like 3-on-3 overtime out there together.
Wow,
that would be
electric.
Absolute cinema. That'd be crazy.
Insane.
I'll say this. I think there's more of a chance that Brady Tkachuk goes to Florida than Quinn Hughes goes to New Jersey.
Yeah.
Really? What makes you think that?
I think, well, Brady's got, 2 to 3 years left on his deal. Obviously, Florida knows that they're kind of like Vegas in the way they operate, that, money doesn't really matter to them. I mean, you look at the contract they just handed out to Brad Marchand. And Aaron Ekblad took a lot of money off, and he would have gotten in the open market. I think he probably could have gotten $8.5 million, and he settled for 6.3, I want to say. So I think for Brady Tkachuk, at least, I would look the same way if you're going to go play with your brother Matthew.
Interesting. The thing, though, is I feel like Brady's been so loyal to Ottawa, and he seems like a loyal guy. I mean, he's the captain there. He's got the C on his chest. They just got into the playoffs this past season. And now he's been sticking out all these years. Like, what was that? 7 years it took them to get to the playoffs. Under 2018, he came into the league. And he did all this work to help turn this team around. And now when things start to right the ship, you're going to go leave and play if your brother's already won 2 cups over there, like in Florida. I just don't know. I don't know about that one.
I think Ottawa would never recover.
I think if Ottawa misses the playoffs this year, you're going to hear a lot of more whispers about it compared to what what Quinn Hughes is dealing with in Vancouver after they miss the playoffs this year.
Who do you think is more likely to miss the playoffs this year, Vancouver, Ottawa, or both?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think the Atlantic, due to its playoff structure, due to how many good teams there are in that conference, I think it's more likely that Ottawa misses out on the playoffs than Vancouver. I think Vancouver's going to take a big step back this year.
Okay, interesting. Well, I think Ottawa's in the much tougher division than Atlantic Division. I think Ottawa's a stronger team of the two, but I think Vancouver's probably got the weaker division. So that's definitely a thought there. You have to think they're due for a bounce back, but I don't know. It's like I wouldn't really say by their offseason moves I've really moved what they've done. I mean, I'm not sure Evander Kane is the solution there. Maybe it is. Maybe Kaner, the second Kane, is the solution there. Why did I just call him Kaner? There's only one Kaner. Showtime.
Please don't.
Yeah, I did that last year too. I'm still doing it. That's crazy. I don't know. I like what they're doing over there. I like that team. I think they got a good shot, but the Atlantic Division's just so tough, man. So I don't know. I think Brady's going to be loyal. I think he's going to stick to Ottawa. I think Quinn, although I say that, maybe I'm being a bit of a hypocrite here. Quinn Hughes is also the captain of Vancouver, so I guess that logic is sort of a maybe that doesn't quite work out there on my end. So, but I think Vancouver's been a little bit of a sinking ship and a bit of a drama land over there, which I think is so ironic considering they seem to think they seem convinced over there that Connor Bedard and Macklin Saltbrini are just going to go to Vancouver when their ELCs are up, and they can't even hold on to their own players over there. So for me, I think
they did it pretty well this year, though.
Yeah, I'm preying on that team's downfall. I think I'd love to see Quinn Hughes leave there, and because I just have nothing positive to say about Vancouver, besides the fact that it gave us Bedard, but it really didn't. That was actually North Vancouver, actually. So they're gonna.
You think you want the Hansen line in New Jersey?
Why not? Just why not? Like, what's the negative here?
Yeah,
like, I have nothing against the New Jersey Devils. Like, it's not like that's a team where it's like, oh, shiver me timbers. They have all 3 Hughes brothers. Like, I think it'd just be good marketing for the league. I think it'd be good for the game of hockey. I mean, say what you will, like the Hughes brothers, man, like probably the most popular brother trio, and like honestly in the game of hockey up there. I mean, the Jack Hughes is very popular amongst the certain crowds and stuff, and Quinn Hughes is as well.
So I have a very different perspective concerning Vancouver.
Yeah.
You're not rocking with Vancouver at all.
I am not rocking with Vancouver.
You want them to implode, etc.
I want them to implode. Yeah.
I want them, since they just signed Garland and Demko and who else did they sign this offseason? Besser re-signed. That's right. I hope it kind of works out for them so that people can just shut up about Connor Bedard going to Vancouver. Like, that's my thing. I'm going to tell you, Demko, stand on your head this year. Quinn Hughes, become the guy. Elias Peterson put on like 16 pounds this offseason, I guess.
He said he has revenge on his mind.
Yeah, he has revenge on his mind. So please, go get your own revenge instead of taking Connor Bedard as revenge or even mentioning that anymore.
I have news for you, Charlie. I don't think people are never going to silence about that. There's always going to be comments like, it doesn't matter how many times Betsy says he loves in Chicago. I can't wait for when that extension is signed and just everybody just loses their minds.
And then if Vancouver does get really good, they'll say, oh, what a great addition to this team would be Connor Bedard. So
I see. I guess I see. I guess I see your logic.
It could go either way.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah. No, well,
Maximum copium.
yeah, they'll be coping on very heavily when he signs the extension in Chicago next summer. We will be there for that. Well, that's a lot. That's more Vancouver talk than I really expected us to do today. But they're always a fun team to talk about. There's always a lot going on over there. Yeah, I think, we'd be remiss if we didn't discuss more McDavid talk. We got a little bit of an update here. And we sort of heard this before, but from Elliot Friedman here, I believe, 32 thoughts on Connor McDavid. I would bet this ends up being a short-term deal around $16 million a year. So that's the Kaprizov, what was rejected contract. I think that's probably about correct. The difference there is it wouldn't be an 8-year deal. I think short-term deal, we don't know exactly what that is. And it could be 3 years, could be 4 years. Not a long-term extension. It wouldn't bind him to Edmonton for, what would probably be the rest of his career, at least most of the rest of his career. So, we'll see what happens there. There's been a lot of talk around McDavid. Talked about a lot Monday, and it's going to continue to be a lot of talk until that deal gets done. Which at the moment, it might be waiting a while for that, as they seem content on waiting to solve that until later and deal with this upcoming season. So we'll probably hear about Kaprizov sooner because that's more of an imminent situation. But McDavid's definitely a kicking the can down the road type situation, kind of like Bedsy. Like, we'll deal with it next summer. It's not a now thing. Focus on this season. And
Adrian Kempe.
What's up?
Adrian Kempe.
Want to discuss Adrian Kempe?
Yeah. Real quick, Pierre LeBrun mentioned there's no rush on his end or the team on an extension. They feel talks will pick up in the next few weeks or months, and he wants to stay in LA. I think that's a no-brainer. Any thoughts on Kempe?
Yeah, no, I think he's had a good home for himself. One of the more underrated players in the league. Right? I feel like Kempe doesn't really get his due. Like, he was so good in the past playoffs. Like, he was probably, outside McDavid, he was probably the best player in that first round series against the Oilers. He was just absolutely killing them. And then they choked like they always do for the fourth year in a row against the Oilers. So no, I think that's going to get done. I think Kempe's going to stay in LA. They're going to get that deal done, which good for him. One of the more underrated players. I think 38 goals, 73 points last year. Consistent 70-point guy. Like, he might not be a superstar, but you know what you're getting with Kempe. Just a really solid, first liner, kind of do everything. So, man, look at all these big names, man.
Yeah.
This class is insane. I just hope some of them hit the market. Like, most of them probably get extended. All this drama and talk will be for nothing, but at least let a couple big names hit the open market, and we'll be due for a much more interesting summer next year than what we witnessed this past year. I remember everybody was saying this was going to be a big summer for NHL season. It was not.
Big
It was
slumber.
not a big summer at all. Like,
Slumber.
like nothing happened. Absolutely nothing happened. A little bit of action on July 1st, which is every year there's action on July 1st, but I mean, we got 0 trades in the month of August. Not one trade. Not a single trade in the month of August. I mean, when's the last time that's happened? Normally there's at least something over the summer. There was there was absolutely nothing.
Absolute nothingness.
We were asleep.
Yep.
We were sleeping. Like, we did not miss anything the past 2 months not doing CHR because there was absolutely nothing to talk about. But now there is.
Yeah.
Now there is. Everybody's back and there's plenty to discuss. We were just talking about a Hughes brother. Here's another Hughes brother to talk about, Luke Hughes. Nolan, you did allude to it. He is due a new contract, and according to Elliot Friedman, this is one I watch next week. We get to a situation where the players start coming to camp. I don't worry about this one. I'm a little surprised it hasn't already been done, though. I remember, I believe the Devils were saying, oh, yeah, that's our top priority this offseason, and we're in September here, and there's still no contract. So
Someone's on vacation.
I don't know what it is
Maybe
this year
sleeping.
with everybody just like waiting till the last minute to get. It's like me and during my academic career, I'd always wait till the last minute to turn in my assignments, and that's like all the NHL general managers this year. It's like they could get their assignments done early, and like they're waiting until the deadline. They're waiting until that midnight window to submit their assignment to what was that, Canvas? Was that the site?
I have
Canvas.
Bright
Or the
Space.
Shobi folder.
The show.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
Google Classroom.
Yep, there
Yeah.
you go.
Oh, it was the worst. Oh man,
Awful.
do not miss that.
Turn it in.
Turnitin.com. Oh man.
Classic.
Yeah, and then there's
Glad I don't have to worry about that anymore.
then they're sending it
Yeah.
to all the AI checking materials
Yep.
to make sure you're not pulling any funny
Plagiarizing.
business, which we would never. None of us here would ever do such a
No,
thing.
absolutely not.
We're all such bright, educated individuals here.
We're
right?
perfect angels.
Of course we are. Absolutely. No dark passengers amongst us, right?
Absolutely.
Shout out
Yeah.
to the college degrees, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We do all have degrees, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just fact checking, just making sure.
I think I'm the one.
Yeah.
Am I the
degreed
only
up.
one going back to school?
You're going to grad school, correct?
Yeah.
You excited for that?
I am. I'm actually really excited about it. Going to DePaul.
Go Demons.
Roll Blue Demons.
Roll your-
And I went on a tour of the Loop campus, and it's actually super nice, and everybody there was awesome, and I absolutely cannot wait to get started. It's gonna be great. I'm super excited. They have a lot of really cool stuff there, and it's gonna be good.
Awesome.
I agree. Sko Mons.
Natalie Chibi, MA.
Best of luck as the only one continuing your scholarly career. Hope
Sick
that
taps.
goes well for you.
Sick
Yeah,
taps.
absolutely. Yes.
you
W's
go.
in the chat for Natalie. I want to see W's in the
Oh
chat
gosh,
as we
please
speak.
no.
W.
There's no.
Sorry to embarrass you.
You
Yeah.
don't have to do all that
W's
for me.
for our post grad.
I'm sorry. I just had to, man. I just had to. Well, I think now is a good time for another segment. Wednesday segment. We got Weigh In Wednesday. New segment debuting here on CHR. Another one. We got a lot of segments coming this year. I mean, we're trying to keep a fresh look this year. An all new looking CHR show.
So fresh, so clean.
Oh, Outcast
fresh and
reference.
so clean.
Very
Yes, sir.
nice. I love that.
It was on the playlist this morning.
Love
you
that. Absolute cinema. Would you like to begin, Charlie, since you're just so quick to get in there?
Weigh in Wednesday. How do I weigh in here? Yeah. Overall, my biggest thing that I want to weigh in on is the Bears, but I feel like we've covered that so much. So I'm going to flip it actually to my Chicago Cubs and their frustrating past 2 months. Although still filled with optimism, it's not the end of the world. They're probably going to make the playoffs, but I just can't stand the Milwaukee Brewers. That's part of my way in
Whoa.
is
7 games behind now. What do you think about that?
7 games out with
6.5 actually.
with
my bad.
about 20 to play. Not looking too hot for the Cubs division chances, but you just have to get in to the playoffs and you've got a chance, is what they say. Unfortunately, Kyle Tucker's now on the IL. They call up rookies and they sit them on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to know what your rookies have, you should probably start them, not pinch hit
Play
them in
them.
the 8th or 9th inning every game. But yeah, Craig Counsell, we're paying the guy $8 million a year to be a kind of a lost puppy managerially sometimes. So just when will it end with the Craig Counsell terrible lineups, not playing the young players, and pulling Cade Horton, the rookie of the year, early every single start?
I understand the Horton thing.
Last game, less so. That was fine.
Yeah. No,
Two
but
starts, yeah.
I'll say this. I understand Horton because he's only had, a total of like 100 innings over the last 2 seasons. So I get, them try to stretch him out, a little bit more now. I would say that next game, if you're getting at least 90, 95 pitches out of him, then I'm not worried whatsoever.
Yeah.
Especially going into October. But when you go into, the lineups are terrible. No excuse on that. A clear lack of bullpen management skills, I think, is another one.
Yes.
And yeah, that's all I can say. At least, they're getting to the playoffs, I guess. But I just don't know how far in October we get. Do we get 2 games or do we get 2 series? I have no idea.
And we might not even keep the top wild card spot.
Mm-hmm.
Padres are 3 behind.
The Padres are banned. I don't want to hear it. The Padres are banned.
Cool. Padres are banned. Let's forget about them.
Yeah.
But yeah, only 2.5 games up for wild card number 1, and we'll see what happens. That's why they play the games, but it's got me nervous.
Wow, I'm absolutely praying on the Cubs' downfall. Hopefully we see that.
What?
You're one of one on this panel, Justin, and we can have some words after this if you want to keep, talking shit against the Cubs.
Slander.
Well, at least you guys aren't 55-90 like my White Sox. But at least we might not lose 100 games this year for the first time since 2022. So, progress, right?
7-3 in your last 10.
Hey, yeah, that's progress. It's not too bad, right? Especially for my White Sox. 7-3 in a 10-game segment. That's pretty solid. Segment during our segment talk. Wow, I really cooked with that one. Not to glaze myself.
There we go.
Well,
Chef
Cinema.
Justin.
who would like to go second if they're weigh-in of the Wednesday?
You should go.
Me?
Yeah.
All right, I guess. I watched this amazing movie last night that I just have to comment on. I've been meaning to watch it forever. It's been on my list. War Dogs, starring
Okay.
Miles Teller and Jonah Hill. absolute cinema. It absolutely earns that moniker. It really does. Really popular movie, especially in meme culture. I just really enjoyed watching that. It was a really just splendid 2 hours of my day. Really fun stuff. Jonah Hill's character, he definitely had this Wolf of Wall Street vibe to him. That was always good. He always owns his roles, and that was definitely one of them. Speaking, I was just watching Miles Teller last night. I gotta say, Charlie, you bear a striking resemblance to Miles Teller. Has anyone ever told you that?
I have gotten that multiple times.
I can totally see
that
that. Does he
now.
not?
I
Does
don't
he
see
not?
it at
I see
all.
it.
What do we think, Chad? What do we
I've
think?
gotten
know.
Miles Teller, and I've gotten Alex Turner, who is
The Arctic Monkeys guy.
there. You go.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I
Monkeys
see
guy.
that a little bit more.
I don't.
I see
don't
that a
see
little
either
bit
of those,
more.
which is crazy.
Not
but,
quite
you
my
know,
tempo.
I'll take it.
Very nice. Yeah, I could see it. I mean, maybe I don't know if I'm the only one.
Is War Dogs, the guys Jonah Hill and Miles Teller are like munitions exporters.
They're like arms dealers.
Arms
They're like
dealers.
illegal
Yeah,
arms
yeah.
dealers, and they get caught. And it's good stuff. Not to spoil the movie,
Yeah,
but
I've heard that's a good movie.
that's a good one, really good one. Especially like you see it a lot in meme culture. It's kind of why I watch it. I get a lot of templates from that movie. It's good stuff. So a lot of good jokes in there. So yeah, that's my weigh-in. How about you? Who like Nolan, Natalie? Who'd like to go next?
Would you mind if I went next?
Sure. go
Not
ahead.
at all.
All right, so my way into the week. What the hell is allergy season? No, seriously.
True.
I can't tell what's been going on here because the last couple of days I have felt like the worst I've felt in a very long time health wise, and I've been pounding NyQuil, I've been pounding Dayquil, I've been pounding Mucinex and cough drops. No free ads, but the thing is like I can't tell if it's allergies or I can't tell if it's like an actual cold because there was a little bit of a bug flying around the house here, and I'm thinking to myself, is it allergies or is it an actual like sickness? So what even is allergy season, number one, and number two, like what's the best way to get rid of allergies?
I'm going to speak from a very like privileged point of view. I don't get allergies. So like,
Aren't you special?
I can't.
Aren't you?
Must be
It must be
nice.
nice. It must be nice.
Must be nice.
Wow, good for you. What's your secret there? What's your secret?
I don't know. If I knew, I would be able to comment further on
He's
it.
like, she doesn't reveal his
just,
tricks, eh?
He's like, just get a better immune system, I guess. You know?
Skill issue, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, skill issue. I've always had issue with
Yeah.
allergies. It's the worst. There's always like one time a year, not even one. It's always like a few times a year. It's always like fall, like normally like at least some point during the summer, and then like the first part of the new year. I would say like around like my birthday. It seems like always something happens in February for whatever reason. So it's always like seasonal allergies. It's not like I have like something where it's like very clear what the allergy is. I don't even know. I got tested for allergies once, and they claimed I didn't have them, but like I have symptoms of allergies like often throughout the year, sniffling and coughing and fevers. Like that just can't just be nothing. So I imagine it's allergies. Yeah, it's fun stuff.
Yeah. I'm very excited for fall to happen. Very mad at the weather. Apparently, it's supposed to be very hot this week, and I am not having it. I'm just going to give it to you straight. I'm going to tell you how I really feel. I am not having it. I want my fall. I want to go to a pumpkin patch. I want to wear my sweaters. I want to change out my wardrobe. I am not happy right now. But I also would like to tell you something that I am happy about, and that is my new current obsession, my Dunkin' Donuts order. I promise you guys, no free ads. But let me put y'all on real quick. It is a cold brew with sweet cold foam and oat milk because lactose intolerant. Yeah. So you add 4 butter pecan swirl, 1 brown sugar swirl, and then 2 pumps of liquid sugar.
Banana swirl.
Every time it is so good. Kind of like you, Justin. I've been engaging in a lot of media like television, movies, and I normally don't do that. I'm not really that big of a TV person. I'm usually a short form content type of person. Like I will doom scroll every night before I go to bed. It is a
do that too.
problem.
That's fun.
But I've been watching a lot of true crime lately. I am a sucker for true crime documentaries and learning about that kind of stuff. So it's really fun to dive down the rabbit hole. I mean, before I kind of graduated, I was looking at all my career options in high school, and I was like, yeah, I want to work for the FBI. I love watching investigative discovery and all that, but I was like, nah, let me just yap.
I respect
But-
that. That's exactly
Fair.
True crime is where it's at. I love it. How It Really Happened is one of my favorite documentaries. It highlights all the very popular cases, and I really recommend giving it a watch.
Very nice. Very nice. If you like that, you should get in the Dexter. I just finished that W show.
Oh, boy, another
absolutely.
Dexter
I had
reference.
to get my Dexter reference in. Tonight's the night.
Isn't there like it's a new show, but still
Resurrection.
Dexter? Resurrection.
Even better.
Yeah,
I mean, this
Dexter
is
Resurrection.
this show is something else. I talked about it when I glazed it in my Monday 3 stars of the week. My first star is Dexter Resurrection. Absolutely W show. It's. I think it might be even better than the original, honestly.
My
that's
brother
how good
was
it is.
trying to push Dexter on me the other day.
Well, I'm gonna push it too.
Yeah, so
Keep pushing.
I got pressure from work, pressure from
I
family
pushed
to
my
watch
friends
Dexter.
too. Who brought me to the Bears game. I was trying to get both of them on it, but they haven't been listening so far. So
You've
if they're
been trying-
watching, y'all better get on it.
You've been trying hard to get all of us here at CHR to watch it too.
Yeah, well, I
100%.
got to be an influencer, right?
Yeah.
That's part of my thing.
Only if you-
influencer, writer, podcaster, the big 3.
There we go.
The Trinity.
I'll
Yeah.
watch season 1 of Dexter if you watch season 1 of Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks. Describe what's your pitch? What's your elevator pitch?
It is a murder mystery from the 90s.
Yeah, we all love our crime, I guess. Murder mystery,
with the
true
FBI
crime,
involved,
yeah.
might I mention.
Yeah.
But it's murder
FIB,
in a small
yeah.
town, and the FBI comes to investigate, and then it gets super wacky and supernatural. I don't want to spoil too much.
Okay, yeah, fair
So
enough.
Scooby Doo, but live action.
It's live action Scooby Doo.
That's
Okay,
a
that's
good
pretty cool.
pitch. That's
a dog
W
may
pitch.
or may not talk in this show.
Really?
Is there
I don't
any
wanna spoil.
references to Twin Peaks the restaurant in there?
I think Twin Peaks the restaurant was made because of Twin Peaks the show,
Fair enough.
Wow.
but
The lore.
they got some good food there.
I haven't been.
I've stopped in once. Yeah, I have to
I
say.
haven't been, yeah.
Solid food for a place that doesn't really advertise their food per se.
yeah.
All
right. Also, Natalie just wanted to add, yeah, I'm with you. I'm done with the Chicago heat. I'm ready for a Chicago winter.
Yep. There we go.
Yeah.
It's amazing how the Midwest weather works. There's always like fake
Fall.
fake winter, fake summer, and then it gets snatched back to reality. So it's just always up and down like a roller coaster. That's kind of how Chicago weather works. Either too hot, too cold. Katy Perry reference. It's never like really in the middle. Like it's never perfect. So
Yeah.
maybe if there might be a few instances of perfection, but just it never quite occurs. Yeah, it feels bad, man. Yeah, we talked about it a little bit during the Hawks hour, the Dustin Wolf extension and how that applies to the Hawks or Spencer Knight, but I think it's worth closing the door a little bit on that one. Good deal for the Flames, really good deal. I mean, one of the better goaltenders in the league last year. Big part of why that team saw that improvement last year and very nearly made the playoffs. If they do make the playoffs this year, I don't think they will, but if they do, it's probably going to be because of him. And just another good American goalie in the system, too, which you love to see. The U.S. has a really good future in net. Marty's got a good present and had a good future as well. So unlike Canada, I think the difference, I'd say, Canada might have a bit more top end on, offense, defense, but the U.S. definitely has edge in net. So that's something that will be, hopefully they could keep extending in the future.
I'll say this about Dustin Wolf. I think Dustin Wolf is one of my favorite stories in the NHL. I think
The Wolf of Calgary.
the Wolf of Calgary, exactly. The Wolf of the Saddle Dome. We could say that too.
I like that.
I mean, they're getting a new stadium in 3 years anyway. So,
that won't
but
last
here's the big thing about Dustin Wolf. He was the 4th to last pick in his draft year. I believe it was the 2019 draft. An undersized goalie too, 6 foot, 166. I don't think anyone's worried about his size anymore, just because of how dominant he's been in the net. Yeah. And another fun fact I was researching here, the second highest AAV for a goaltender taken in the 7th round ever. Can you guys name me who the first is?
Marc-Andre Fleury.
No, Marc-Andre
Lundqvist?
Fleury was the first overall
Oh,
pick.
what am I saying?
It was Henrik Lundqvist.
Oh, it was Lundqvist.
Henrik
Okay.
Lundqvist, yes.
That was
but
on
he
my
beats
mind
out a
as
guy
well.
like Frederick Anderson, who's been, a pretty
He's
mainstay.
better than Frederick Anderson.
He's better than
Yeah.
Frederick Anderson,
yeah.
but at the same time, Frederick Anderson has been one of the top half goalies over the last 5 to 10 years, I'd say.
Yeah, he's mid. He's mid.
I mean, he's mid, but there's a lot of goalies you would rather have Frederick Anderson over.
Fair. That's fair. Yeah.
So I just think it's super cool seeing, the story with Dustin Wolf. Obviously, me being a USA hockey super fan as well as you are, Justin. So, I mean, Dustin Wolf here, I'm rooting for this guy.
I agree. Couldn't
Just
agree
not in the
more.
playoffs against the Hawks.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I think the Flames still got some work to do there. I know they're cold. Their team, I wouldn't be surprised if she takes a little bit of a step back this year. I think they overperformed a little bit last year. And plus, there's the whole Rasmus Anderson dilemma going on over there. It seems like it's inevitable that he's eventually moved, and he's one of their top defensemen. So we'll see what happens from that standpoint as well.
I think I'm going to have to fight you on this one.
Oh, fighting me.
I think that Dustin Wolf, in a second full season in the league, I
You
think
think he's just going to carry them to the playoffs?
I don't think he's going to carry into the playoffs, but I don't think there's going to be a regression. I think they're going to stay the same or closer to the playoffs.
Wow. Fair enough. I respect that take.
I think Ryan Huska as a coach is a very underrated coach in the league. I think if he makes the playoffs this year, there's a chance you could hear Jack Adams calls for him.
So, Nolan, am I hearing you right? Are you going to get a tattoo if the Flames make the playoffs this year?
Hell no. No,
Yeah,
no,
bets,
we're not.
please.
We're not doing tattoo bets. You and Lee did that last year. I'm not doing it now.
All right, I was just throwing it out there. Okay. You didn't take the bait. I respect that. I respect the hustle there. Very nice. Yeah, that's a good Dustin Wolf talk there. I think another young player worth discussing here, Mason McTavish and his future in Anaheim. We got this from Elliot Friedman. I think teams have called, but I don't think Anaheim wants to trade him. I would be surprised if he got traded. There's a lot of rumors around him this offseason, which for the Ducks, I don't understand why you would. I mean, you already moved on from Zegras. Like, I feel like this is a young guy you should be prioritizing as a part of the future young core there. You already got Leo Carlson there. A lot of good young players up front there. That's definitely a team that we'll be worrying about for sure. Maybe lesser so than San Jose, but Anaheim's definitely got a bright future. And you got Coach Q back there as well. That's definitely a team where the expectations are raised this year. They want to get back to the playoffs. But sounds like McTavish's future will still be in Anaheim. Again, we'll see until a deal actually gets done there. What's going to happen there? But what do you have to say about that? And I know Nolan, I think you got a point to say.
Yeah, I've said this, I think, since last year's trade deadline, but I want to get your thoughts on this, Justin, your thoughts on this, Charlie, and your thoughts on this, Natalie. Yeah. What would it take for the Hawks to get Mason McTavish?
Oh, that would take a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what it would take. I think you'd have to give up a pretty decent defenseman there probably in return. Probably Korchinski. I don't even know if that would even be good enough, honestly. I think Korchinski at this point is value. I mean, I'm not even sure. You might have to part with, I hate to say it, but you might have to part with one of Renzel or Artie, and that's just not happening for me. I have 0% interest in that.
Yeah,
I think those two are both untouchables. Like, I'm not touching those two.
That would be the ask out of Anaheim right
because
off the bat.
Korchinski in a I don't know, whatever, a first or another forward prospect, I don't think that's going to get the job done. It would take quite a haul to get Mason McTavish. So,
especially because Anaheim already has so many left-handed defensive prospects.
Exactly. Well, they would be asking for
and Zellweger and Jackson Lacombe. Lacombe's been great this year.
And I just don't feel like we have the forwards to really entice them. Like, they probably ask for Frank Nazar. And no, absolutely not.
Frank Nazar and
no interest.
Yeah, no interest.
I like McTavish a lot, but not that much. Not that much. No.
I think it would take entirely more than we really be willing to give up to get
I will say he did have really good chemistry with Betsy.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I would want him.
Those two are really good together, I will say that. Yeah.
He is also another Brantford Bulldog. Well, Hamilton Bulldog, but the Hamilton Bulldog transferred into Brantford Bulldog, and we all know how much Kyle Davidson loves his
Brantford Bulldogs.
Yeah.
We've seen it. Yeah. Parker Holmes as well. He loves drafting his Brantford Bulldogs.
Yeah, so why not trade for one, right?
Sudbury Blueberry Bulldogs, right? Choice reference, right? Yeah. We'll see. I mean, I don't think so. I think it's a fun idea. It's a fun thought exercise, but no, I don't think.
Korchinski a first and Bem, and they would say no.
I would make that trade, but they wouldn't.
They wouldn't.
Yeah, they wouldn't make that trade.
They wouldn't.
No.
I'd probably have to add Florida's first round pick as well in that.
I mean, I was going to say add a first on in the future or add a second round pick, but.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to get the job done. A couple little notes. Jason Robertson, another guy whose name's been in talks this summer. This is David Pagnotta and Robertson. They believe in this kid. They want to keep him around. Let's see what they can iron out in the next month in Dallas. So, Robertson and Dallas potential extension there. I know there were some rumors, I'd say, around the playoffs after their run kind of ended on spectacular fashion. He didn't really have a great playoffs. That maybe he's a guy who could be on the move. If the Dallas's cap situation, the Mikko Rantanen contract coming in, and what that deal could potentially look like. Probably north of $10 million for sure. I don't know the exact amount and what the term would look like. It's definitely a guy for Dallas you want to keep around, but he's no longer really your top four there. I mean, Mikko Rantanen is definitely your guy there, so he's more of a number 2, number 3 there. Hints up there. So we'll see what happens in that regard with Jason Robertson, but definitely will be a name to watch this upcoming year for sure. See what happens with him. Yeah.
Just a quick back to McTavish real quick. So I saw a Friedman report from about a week ago. They're not crazy about doing a bridge deal. They would prefer a long-term deal. And Friedman added that, quote, "It might not be easy for the two sides to agree to a longer projection," end quote, and that the Ducks do not want to trade him.
Yeah, no, I think he's safe in Anaheim. Yeah, I think so.
Unless we get crazy development, I think he stays put.
Probably. I'd say that's where it's trending for sure. So, Yeah, and another one I think they rounded out, Jack Eichel. We get from the fourth period here. We got talks between McCrimmon and Eichel's representatives led by agent Pat Brisson. Pat Brisson is everywhere, man. He is
Everywhere.
cooking.
Yeah.
He's got Crosby, he's got Kane, he's got Eichel.
He's got Taves, too.
Taves, who doesn't this guy have? He's the king of the NHL agents.
Scott Boras of the hockey world.
Yeah, there you go. Great reference there. Love it.
Yeah, so talks expect to pick up this month. Yeah, Vegas, they'll figure it out. Yeah, I mean, logistically, I still figured out exactly how. I mean, with the contract, he's going to probably get north of $15 million probably, and it's the Vegas cap situation. But I'm sure they'll find a way to cook the books and work him in the system there. So obviously, he's been a great fit there in Vegas, coming off a career year, 2023 Cup champion, and definitely has resurrected his career after Buffalo Sabres. They love to trade away their talented players that they draft and keep rebuilding for a never-ending cycle, and watch the said player they trade win a cup elsewhere. Think about Jack Eichel, think about Sam Reinhart, all these guys. So I'm sure that trend will continue over there in Buffalo land. But we'll see what happens with the Eichel and Vegas situation.
Poor Buffalo land.
It wouldn't be NHL hour without slandering Buffalo at least once.
Wait, you mean noted superfan Justin Lynch? Buffalo Sabres,
I got
going
that
back
one.
to the top 15 prospects list.
That was a troll. I was
Great
trolling.
hat. Great hat.
I was trolling.
That was a
wearing
great
the
hat,
Sabres
but I mean,
hat.
are you a low-key Sabres fan now, Justin?
Sleeper agent in the
I
office.
want to see them succeed. Like, I actually want to. I feel so bad for Buffalo. I feel so bad for their fans. I know they got the Bills over there, but they're always losing to the Chiefs in the playoffs. Like, I want to see the Sabres get back into relevancy. I mean, that's Patrick Keem's hometown, and I'm sure he'd like to see it too. Part of me was hoping he'd go there, but I don't think that's going to happen at this point. I think he sees the situation over there, and he does not want to end his career over there at Buffalo. But yeah, I hope they figure it out, man. But the Peterka deal still makes me scratch my head. I still understand it. Kesselring and Doan, that's a great return there, Kevin Adams. How he still has a job in 5 years, I don't understand.
Shout out
darts to the board.
I don't know what the plan is.
Shout out
over
Red
there.
Hawks.
Yeah.
Shout out the Miami Red Hawks. Shout out Kevin Adams, Miami Red Hawk alum.
I don't know what the plan is over there in Buffalo. I don't think there is a plan. I think it's a Dutch Vander plan. They're just not cooking over there. They are absolutely not cooking. It's a disaster over there. It's a nightmare, and it's just I wish it would get solved just for their fan base. I think they deserve a good team, and I appreciate them. I think you got to respect them for still showing up all these years. But
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think a good way to round it out. Charlie, I think it's time for your betting segment. Charlie's bets to
Yes,
round out the NHL
sir.
hour. Yeah.
I think we have settled on betting the house as the name of this segment. So welcome to betting the house.
Where'd you get that one?
Oh, I have no idea. Maybe the chat
Very nice. Very nice.
or Weber's Wager Wire.
Wow, that's a good Weber's Wagers.
Weber's Wagers.
Shea Weber's
Let's
Wagers.
do it. Shea, Blackhawks legend.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So before we get into Weber's Wagers, I have a brief disclaimer. The following content may discuss topics related to gambling. Gambling can be addictive and not suitable for all individuals. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, help is available by calling 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 or older. Please gamble responsibly and be aware of the risks.
Thank you for
All
that,
right.
Charlie.
Thank you.
Thank you. On this fine Wednesday, I have another 3 picks. Right. The first pick of today in the Pittsburgh Pirates Baltimore Orioles game, pitcher Paul Skeens, 8+ strikeouts against today's Orioles lineup.
Noted boyfriend of Livy Dunn.
Yeah. We got some popular culture tied to that pick right there, don't
there.
we?
Yeah, exactly.
So, the pick is 8+ strikeouts for Skeens in today's start, and the odds on that are +107. Pick number 2 for tonight, we're going to baseball again with the White Sox, and we are taking Colson Montgomery to hit a home run today.
There we go, Justin.
Smash that. Love
Colson
it.
Montgomery home run odds +380.
Smashing that.
$10 gets you 38 on that bet.
Free money.
Yeah, lock that in. Colson has the most homers in a 50 stretch game by any rookie shortstop in MLB history.
He's him.
On
He
a
is
tear
him.
right now.
That's very impressive. I did not know that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A new star has arrived in Chicago. We actually have some hope. I'm sure he won't fall off in a few years.
Yeah,
and that's
gotta
on,
give
right?
credit
Like every
where
White
credit
Sox
is
I'm
player
going to say
does.
it again. Don't you dare put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
I hope not, man. Just as a White Sox fan, I've seen it too many times before. So hopefully it'll be different this time. Yeah, but good piece to build around for sure.
Yeah, Colson, baby Corey Seager. And
One of my 3 stars
Corey
of the
Seager
week.
won a ring,
Yeah.
so 2 actually.
Oh.
Yeah, very nice.
And then our third pick for tonight. we are going out to Sacramento, California, where the Athletics, not of Oakland and not of Las Vegas.
Not of Sacramento either. They're just the Athletics.
They're just the Athletics. So
Moneyball.
Red Sox visiting the Athletics out in Sacramento. We're taking Red Sox money line -120.
The other
with
Sox.
Oh, okay.
Peyton Toll on the mound against Mason Barnett for the A's. So yeah, we're taking Peyton Toll today. Red Sox
There we
money
go.
line -120.
All right, there you go. Charlie's bets. We'll see
Good
how
luck. Bet responsibly if you do.
Absolutely. We'll see how that works out for you. How'd the Monday bets go? Yeah.
So Monday's bets, I gave out 2 football picks for Monday Night Football and then an NHL futures.
Okay.
That obviously has not settled. The futures bet, 30-plus goals for Bedard.
Yeah. We're waiting on that one. Yeah.
Monday night, we went 1-1. Cole Kmet did hit over 12.5 receiving yards. However, in an absolute disaster class and meltdown, the Bears failed to cover the 1.5 point spread. It was looking great for a while
You hate
there,
to see
folks.
it, man.
We're on our way to a 2-0 opening of the wager talk, but we'll take 1-1, hopefully 3-1 tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Monday Night Football script didn't favor the Bears.
Not at all.
Always seem to be on the opposing end of that, doesn't it? Yeah, it's a shame. But there you go. Charlie's bets for this Wednesday. I think that'll do it, folks. I think that'll do it for the show 2 of week 1 of season 2 of CHR. Man, that was a mouthful, man. That was I have to practice that one back in the mirror. That was not well done. But hey, first week back, we're shaking off rust. Thank you all for being patient with us today. I know it was a bit of a rocky start, but y'all stuck with us and we appreciate it. And just like the Blackhawks, we're getting back in the swing of things, man. Right, we're shaking off the summer rust and we're prepping for this upcoming season. So yeah, we're very excited to be back. We will be back this Friday at 11 Central Time for show 3, Friday show of CHR. Looking forward to the first Friday show. We got a lot to look forward to that day.
Frondell Friday.
Yeah, Nolan, I'll let you tee
Friday.
up this one. That's right. Yeah. Nolan,
You're going to let me tee up this
the
one.
guest. Yeah.
I believe we have a certain Twitter user named Mr. Obi Clapbaum coming on Friday.
That's right. Yeah.
Very excited about that. The creator of Frondell Friday is going to celebrate our first Frondell Friday.
Very nice. I love that. And by the way, folks, you know what's returning this year? Friday mailbag, baby. Friday mailbag. That means you can send in your questions to us that we will answer. There's several ways you could do that. You could send them into the CHR Discord, which you haven't joined. Get in there. Join that. A lot of fun stuff
Come
in
on
there.
now.
You can DM those questions to CHR, the Chicago Hockey Radio Instagram page. Many ways there to get your questions in. We will answer them. So for sure, we will answer your questions if you're in chat, but we really prioritize the questions that are sent in. So we really appreciate that and looking forward to bringing that segment back this year, a segment that's returning. Love to see that. Anyway, that's all she wrote for today. We're just a quick reminder there. Make sure to like this video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the YouTube. Hit the thumbs up. Share it around with your friends. Leave a 5-star rating review on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We really appreciate that.
Takes
Helps
2
us out a
seconds.
ton. Really, it takes
2 seconds. You just open up rating and then you tap your star rating. It's done.
Yeah, it's that easy, man. We really appreciate that. Helps us out a ton. We will be back on Friday. See you then.
Cheers.
See ya.
See ya.